The Lone Star Series on Space City Home Network is presented by TXU Energy. We welcome you tonight inside Minute Maid Park as the Astros kick off a 6-game homestand. First of 3 against their in-state rivals, the Texas Rangers. Rangers taking on the Astros for the 5th time this year. These teams split the 4-game series in Arlington. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Todd Callis. Look who's here in the booth with me. The Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell filling in for Jeff Blum for the weekend. Baggy, let's start with this team is off to a rough start. There's no getting around that. But it happens at points of the year for every team that's had success for the Astros.
If you go back and look, no matter where we look, if we're 2017, 19, 21, 22, anytime we've been to a World Series, there's always stretches when teams go 4-10. The problem is it started right in the beginning of the year and everybody's panicking. The one thing that we should know, being Astros fan and knowing this ball club, is not to panic.
What is the mindset as you were going around talking to guys? How are they feeling coming off this 4-10 stretch?
Well, I mean, they don't feel good. I mean, nobody does. You know, everybody wants to get off to a good start, whether it's team-wise, personal-wise, whatever it might be. Nobody feels good, but nobody's panicking. This team has been through so much and battle-tested, been to the World Series, ALCS. We all know the records, and we're coming. Don't worry, we're coming.
And JP France gets the ball tonight for the Astros. He goes against the Texas Rangers in back-to-back starts. That's always a challenge, but JP has fared pretty well so far in his first 2 starts.
He is. He mixes the ball in and out, which is great. He can throw a cutter, slider, and his changeup's been real good. It's a big pitch for him. So I think he'll do real well here. He's familiar with them. They're familiar with him, but I always take pitching over hitting anytime.
When we come back, we'll talk about his battery mate, Yainer Diaz. He's in the cleanup spot. He has been off to a hot start as the regular catcher in 2024. Back with Yainer. More on him after this. Home Network with Fubo. Visit Fubo.tv for a free trial. By Honda. Visit your Greater Houston Honda dealer today. And by Rooms to Go. The store-wide mattress sale is going on now. It's time to improve the way you sleep. Yainer Diaz has been the everyday catcher this year, and Baggy, he is off to quite a start in 2024.
Well, he sure is. One thing we knew about Yainer is he could hit, and he's continued to prove that. He can hit the ball all parts of the ballpark with power. You know, Yainer will take a funky swing here and there, and then all of a sudden he'll time it up and he'll shoot a ball to right center, shoot a ball to left, and shoot some balls out of the ballpark. So he's really done a tremendous job. He's such a great kid, hard worker, making a lot of strides in his defense. I really love what he's seeing with him right now.
Yainer Diaz behind the plate tonight, batting cleanup. When we come back, we'll talk a little pitching with Julian Morales. The Astros could use a good start out of JP France. We'll check in with the birthday girl right around the corner.
For a club who is putting all the road woes behind them. They left them on the road. They're looking forward to being in front of their home crowd and facing a team that their home crowd wants them to beat. They need a win in a big way. Here recently, it has been a challenge, especially with the guys who get the ball first. The starters, the last 4 starts, if you're wondering what's been going on with their Houston Astros, well, it's been really tough out of the gate. The starters combined only working 9 1/3 innings. Christian Javier having a big chunk of that. We saw 2 major league debuts that did not go extremely well as well. So it's all up to the next guy getting the ball right. That's got to change things around for this group. It has really taxed a bullpen. A little bit of a snowball effect, but today it's all up to JP France, who can really right the ship with a great outing. And he's a guy who has risen to expectations. He did it all last year as a rookie. He is looking forward to doing that today. He said when it comes to facing a team he just saw in his last start, it's not about looking at the lineup, looking at these guys' faces. It's about sticking to the game plan that he knows can work against the Texas Rangers. Baggy, I'm going to send this up to you. We know it's a big start. It's a big game. It's a big series.
No, it really is. Obviously, you know, everything starts with our starting pitcher. You know, they set the tone for our game. We've had some hiccups here, you know, with our starters lately. Puts us in a tough hole, puts a lot of pressure on the offense. That being said, this is just the first part of the year. This is 14 games. You know, we go through this at periods during the year where we lose, you know, we're 4-10. So right now I'm betting on JP France to give us 5 or 6 innings and then get to the bullpen that we're used to using. When you do somewhere the top 3 guys that we have, be a good game and give us a great chance to win a ball game.
Here's the Rangers starting lineup tonight for Bruce Bochy. Marcus Semien at the top, followed by Corey Seager and Evan Carter now hitting third. Adolis Garcia in the leadoff spot. Josh Smith is off to a good start for the Rangers. Wyatt Langford DHs. Jonah Heim is in The 7th spot, catching. Jared Walsh, at first baseman, hits 8th, and Leody Taveras in center field, batting 9th. Umpires waiting for the clock to turn to 7:10. JP was ready to go before the game time of 7:10, so they're kind of waiting for that clock to turn over.
Yeah, chomping at the bit.
Now,
let's go.
It is now turned to 7:10, and we're ready to go. So JP facing Marcus Semien. The Lone Star Series will have part 2 get underway with a fastball for a strike.
It's a good start right there. Obviously, strike one, everybody's heard of that before. Strike one is such an important part. Get to hit a little bit more on the defense right off the get-go.
Marcus Semien has hit the Astros very hard in the last year and a half. His last 19 games right here in this ballpark, he's got a hit in every game, a 19-game hitting streak.
Yeah, well, I've seen them all. He is. He's a good player, don't get me wrong. So he does some good things. We just got to hold these guys down.
JP missing wide, 2-1. Angel Hernandez is the home plate umpire tonight, part of Lance Barksdale's crew. Barksdale over at third, also Nick Lentz and Edwin Jimenez. Swing and a miss at a good breaking ball. It's 2-2.
Very good breaking ball right there. You know, JP, the only 2 pitches he missed on this count were very close. So this one was a good look right there with a great slide. You can't put it any better than that.
Good look at that pitch on our MD Anderson strike zone. Now the count's 2-2. Missing low, and the count goes full.
See, the key to pitching and hitting is every pitch that the pitcher throws, you got to have the hitter have some intent of maybe having to swing. JP's been around the plate. We've had to flinch a little bit, so hopefully we can get him right here.
On the ground, third baseman is Gray Kessinger tonight. Kessinger makes the first play of the evening because, of course, he does. In his first start, he gets the first ground ball. Speaking of defense, the Astros starting defense is presented by Xfinity. There is Gray. Alex Bregman a little sick today, so he's not in the lineup. You know Breggy hates missing games. Mauricio Dubon's going to play left field tonight. Jake Myers in center, Kyle Tucker in right. John Singleton's over at first base for the 2nd straight game, and Yainer Diaz behind the plate.
And you are correct, TK. Of course he gets the ball. Right off the mound to getting a ground ball in the first at bat.
Right off the mound. He pitched the last inning for the Astros yesterday.
I told him when I saw him, I said, easy game, man. I don't know what these pitchers are complaining about.
There's Corey Seager.
Throw strikes, you get outs.
He didn't have to face Corey Seager last night.
He didn't. Good for him.
Seager has had good numbers against JP France over his career. 4 for 7 with a couple of home runs.
Yeah, I think Seager's had good numbers against all of us. You know, we saw in the playoffs last year. I think he hit a double or homer every at bat. You just got to keep him off balance. He's a very, very aggressive hitter, so you got to maybe slow stuff.
He normally goes after a lot of first pitches. Here he has not taken a swing yet on the first 3. He's ahead of the count 3-0.
Tried a changeup right there, which is a good pitch. You just got to keep him off because you're right. He's very aggressive. Not many holes, really isn't.
Runner-up for MVP last year in the American League, despite only playing 119 games. 3-0 pitches drilled to right field, and that is off the wall in a hurry. Tucker's got a shot at him. Here comes a throw. It's just a little bit to the outfield side. Tucker had a shot to gun down Corey Seager, but he's in safely with a double.
Yeah, he had an opportunity right there, Tuck. I think there's only the 2nd time he's had that throw this year, but made a good throw. But he's just tough. You can't spin a ball in there. He missed his spot a little bit in, and you know he took advantage of it like he always does.
That's a play you take your chances with Tuck.
Every time. I thought for sure he's going to be out.
Seager getting aggressive as you see at our Mattress Firm Supermo with the head first slide, and now Evan Carter the batter. Carter goes after the first one and fouls it out of play.
Well, see, that's what we do is we take for granted what our guys do all the time. You know, we take for granted that Tuck's going to make a perfect throw, and that is not an easy throw. That's a gift that Tuck has when he can spin and throw that ball to second base. So just a little bit off that time. Now you're just going to have to make some pitches right here.
Carter got off to a little bit of a slow start. The Astros, when they faced the Rangers the first time this year, Carter hadn't had a base hit on the season, but now his last 6 he's hitting .318. He had a good game against JP France. He's 3 for 4 against JP with 3 doubles in his career. Part of that was postseason last year when Carter really came into his own. Altuve to his left, will make the play to John Singleton. Corey Seager crosses over to third. That's the second out of the inning. StatCast powered by Google Cloud as we're going to break down J.P. France and what he likes throwing against lefties and righties.
Well, you can see he throws a lot of changeups, curveballs, throws an occasional cutter and a four-seamer, but very, very heavy on the changeup and the curveball. Keeps guys off balance. His changeup is very, very good. If he can get that over the plate, I think he can get a lot of outs.
That was his arsenal against the Rangers last start. Here's Adolis Garcia, and Garcia goes after the first pitch and delivers the first run with a base hit to right field. So Garcia drives in his 14th run of the season. He leads the American League in that category.
He's been doing that for a while now, too. Just made a mistake there out over the middle of the plate. Ball was supposed to be in. It's away. You know, when you miss your spot by 17 inches, that's the kind of things that can happen. You know, when you pitch in, you got to pitch in with intent. You got to get the ball there. And some guys have a tough time when they're used to throwing the ball all the way to get that ball actually in. And in that case, it was out over the middle of the plate, made a good swing at it, and got a base hit.
There's a lot of things that have evolved over the years in the game of baseball from the time you played to where we are now. Yeah. It seems like pitching in is more difficult for guys now than it ever has been.
Well, because all they're taught is basically the outer part of the plate. And last time I checked, the plate was 17 inches.
Still is.
Yeah. So I don't think that you need to use only 7 inches of the plate. As a hitter, with a guy with 10,000 at-bats in the big leagues, I know how hard it is to hit a pitch in. And a lot of times people say, oh, those balls are in. They're not in. Like, I'm talking about black or in. Like, if you see the best pitchers, when they miss, they're black or they're in. They don't miss ever to the middle part of the plate. But guys are not used to doing it. But if you watch our hitters, guys are getting moved off the plate all the time. You know, Jordan 3 times a game has to stand up. Tucker's getting balls thrown over his head. So sometimes you got to get in there on guys to get them from leaning out over the plate.
Josh Schmidt, the batter, batting in the 5 spot tonight. The Astros saw the Rangers earlier. He was down further in the lineup, but he's off to a great start, hitting a team-high 321 to start play tonight with a 424 on-base percentage.
Yeah, we got another LSU guy, right?
Mm-hmm. Josh had batted 8th 4 times. The Astros saw him earlier in the year. Adolis Garcia off and running. Diaz's throw is not quite in time. Pena tried a quick tag on the throw that was just slightly off the mark, and Garcia has his 3rd steal of the year.
Got a pretty good jump right there. Left almost a little bit early. Like you said, just a little bit into the left field side, so that was the difference.
Garcia last year stole 9 bags, leading the team with 3 steals already this season. Now 2-2 pitch to Smith, bounces in there and may have hit him. Yes, it did. That'll be a hit by pitch. With a breaking ball, a curveball catching Smith on the foot.
That's not the end I was talking about.
That's
the
not
breaking ball off the foot.
In. No. Ooh, that actually hit him on the bounce.
In the knee?
Back knee.
Yeah, you can't act like you killed yourself right there on that one. I mean, just tipped you on the back knee. Come on, man. You're from LSU. Come on, dude. You have a reputation to uphold.
So now Wyatt Langford, speaking of guys from colleges, this guy went to the University of Florida and was drafted last year.
Saw a bunch of him last year in College World Series.
He only played 44 minor league games and made their opening day roster. Grounds this one to third. Kessinger to his left, and the Astros get out of further trouble in first. 1 run on 2 hits and a hit batter. 2 men left on base. 1-0 Texas. Her pick to stick is that. Look at his numbers against Dane Dunning. 7 for 14, a double, 2 home runs. He has really hit this right-hander for the Texas Rangers well, and he will lead things off tonight on the season. Altuve batting .425 against right-handers. It's Tuve, Jordan Alvarez, our pick. Kyle Tucker hitting 3rd. Then you've got Yainer Diaz in the 4th spot. John Singleton hitting 5th. Jeremy Pena will bat 6th. And the bottom 3 are Mauricio Dubon, Jake Myers, and Greg Kessinger. Altuve waves in the first pitch, and that's a breaking ball.
Yeah, I think Dunning's tired of giving up first pitch homers to Altuve. So he threw him a breaking ball right off the get-go, and Jose thought he might be throwing him a fastball. But it's okay. He swung and missed.
Altuve's always ready.
He's always ready.
That first pitch is always one of his favorites.
Yes, it is.
That one missing in 101.
He's done a great job this year. He looks great at home plate. You know, he's been on base a lot. We just haven't found ways to get him in.
This one into right field. Adolis Garcia back, still going back, has room and puts it away a couple of feet in front of the right field wall. Altuve gave it a ride, but he's out number 1.
That's a good piece right there, though. When Jose Altuve starts hitting the ball with some sort of power the opposite way, those are good signs.
How about Dane Dunning?
Dane Dunning throws a little bit of the kitchen sink up there at you. You know, he's got a fastball, a sinker, curveball, a split, and a slider, cutter. So he'll throw it all up there to try and mix speeds. Not going to overpower our guys. But he pitches, and that's what he does well. He pitches.
He pitched well in that game against the Astros. This guy hurt him with one big swing.
That's what he does. Jordan is amazing. He really is. He's a pleasure.
Jordan hit a 3-run home run in that game against Dane Dunning. Those were the only 3 runs allowed. He only gave up 4 hits in 6 2/3.
Yeah, one bad pitch, really.
Astros won that game 3-1 thanks to the Jordan home run.
You know, we've gotten a lot of hits. You know, our ball club, we're leading the league in hitting, you know, which is great, but we're almost last in the league in runners in scoring position.
Jordan just missed this. This is way up in the air. Launch angle was off, but he had plenty of exit velocity on that swing to hit a home run.
So the other day, I think we had 15 hits in Kansas City and got 3 runs.
Something like that.
You know, so we're just not driving in runs. What we talked about, you and I talked about a little bit, TK, is we need like a bases loaded triple, something to get our guys going. Jordan, as you see, just missed this ball. The amazing part is how small of a percentage that is to hit a ball like that high and not hit it out of the ballpark. Just a click.
Yeah, that ball's an inch lower
it's
on the
even
barrel.
less than that. It's
Half an
amazing.
inch?
Yeah, it's probably less than that. That's because of Jordan, how strong he is.
That ball's in the second.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. That's how hard hitting is. And it's the difference between fly balls, homers, line drives. That's what makes it so difficult.
Is it easy now to say that's how hard hitting is? But because it's hard for the guys to understand that everybody's going to go through slumps, right?
Everybody does. I don't care who you are. You take the best hitters in the game that's ever played, and everybody's been through slumps. I mean, sure, there's a few guys that you think haven't, Tony Gwynns and Ted Williams and things like that. Oh, there's a homer.
Tucker drives one deep to right center field, and Baggy called it off the bat into the ball. That snaps an 0 for 11 for Tuck as he crushes one to tie it up at 1.
It's huge for us right there. Get us right back on the board here after they scored 1. And it's big for Tuck, obviously.
King Tuck with his 3rd home run of the season.
So here's a changeup right here. He got in the middle of the plate, and Tuck did not miss it. That little click we talked about with Jordan,
yep.
he was in that click that we were looking for. Great swing right there. Well balanced, everything like that. There's another guy ready to hit.
Yiner?
Yeah. So I mean, this is the thing about slow starts. You know, slow starts puts pressure on players. They put pressure on their players. They're not driving in runs. They're not getting what they want. We'll talk about that after the next inning.
1-0 pitch is grounded to Corey Seager for the final out, but Kyle Tucker, who was 5 for 17 with a home run against Dane Dunning in his career, connects for a 2nd time against the Ranger right-hander, and we're tied up at 1.
It's presented by Jack in the Box. In case you missed TK earlier saying Alex Bregman is not here today. He's under the weather, obviously not playing, something we rarely ever see with him and his ability to stay on the field. But he doesn't feel well. We hope he feels better for tomorrow. Chas McCormick also not in the lineup today for the 2nd straight day. He's dealing with a sore hamstring, but he is dressed, as you can see there, ready and available later in case of an emergency for him because he came out early. Watched him smiling. Hopefully he's going to be ready to go to get back in that lineup soon. Guys, I just wanted to say, you know, the Astros are in game 8 of this 13-game stretch that they're in. Joe was already kind of looking for spots to give guys a breather here and there as they're getting started on this long season. But he did say the guys who are on this field right now, he wants to see urgency from them. It could be all it takes for things to start clicking for this team, TK.
Yeah, let's hope so. There you see some of the guys on the pitching staff.
Clowning around like normal.
That's their thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the job of a starting pitcher. Do nothing for 4 days.
And they hang right down in the corner where Julia is. We need to open Julia back up. Julia,
no, I'm in trouble. I'm in so much trouble. I forgot peanuts today.
Do they know it's your birthday?
It's your birthday.
Do they know it's your birthday?
He gave me the text sign, like I need to start tweeting and telling people to bring peanuts. So if you know someone in the ballpark, we need peanuts.
So they're upset with you on your birthday.
I am not in a good place right now. I'm in trouble.
Man,
I forgot today. I never forget.
But it looks like he's got a bag of peanuts right there.
They just got one from somebody. Just came to the rescue. I think it's sunflower seeds. Oh, we have one bag.
It's getting passed around. So how many are you supposed to provide on a daily basis?
Two.
All right.
Wow. It's a lot of pressure. Especially on
Tell
your
them
birthday.
it's your birthday.
I mean, seriously.
Please.
They don't care.
2 of those guys are on the DL. I mean, they should at least bring out everything.
Jonah Heim leading off, and he hits a 2-2 pitch into right field. Kyle Tucker, who hit a home run himself in the bottom half of the first, makes that catch for the first out of the inning. How about the injury report presented by Daspit? You heard from Julia on Chaz McCormick and Alex Bregman. Tomorrow, Justin Verlander is going to pitch for AA Corpus Christi as the Hooks are in Frisco to take on the Rangers AA team. And that'll be his second rehab start and hopefully his final one before he joins the big league squad.
Yeah, that would be nice to see him back out there. No talking to him. It's really what he cares about most is the day after, what he feels like. And so far, so good. So keep our fingers crossed. He'll keep going out there doing his thing. And one guy I don't worry about is Justin Verlander. He'll be out there. He'll be doing his thing real soon.
The future Hall of Famer will be pitching tomorrow in a AA ballpark down in Frisco. So opportunity for a lot of fans in that area to check out Verlander. His first minor league rehab start was with Sugarland at Constellation Field just down the road.
So what I was saying earlier, TK, fans, we're going to be okay, I promise you. I know things don't look good right now, and everyone wants to say this, it's that, and all that. At the end of the day, it's not that we're unlucky. It's not anything like that. Players got to play. And we have every single hope, resume of whatever, of guys out there that have performed and done their job and been great Major League Baseball players. They will continue to be great Major League Baseball players, and we will win. I'm not worried about these guys. They're going to be fine. They're just kind of going through a little part right here, but it happens to be in the beginning of the season. And when it's been the beginning of the season, everybody wants to panic. I get it. This team will be fine.
Jared Walsh, the batter, with a 3-1 count.
Now, when you think about the positives we got, you're talking about Justin Verlander coming back. We have a chance by, end of July to have Garcia back, McCullers back. Our guys are going to start hitting. We're going to start hitting with runners in scoring positions, which we're terrible right now. They know that, and they have pressure on themselves to get, and which makes it even harder to hit when you put pressure on yourself to drive in runs.
Urquidy will be back.
Urquidy, exactly. So there's a lot of things that are going to happen that are real good. We just happen to be going through a tough stretch right now. Every team goes through it. I don't care who you think the best team in baseball is, who I think is the Houston Astros. They are going to go through a period of 4-10. I promise you. Every single team. And I promise you we're going to lose 50 more games. But what do we do now with the rest of them? And I think this team is battle-proven, and the resumes are out there. These guys are going to do just fine. So just stay with us. We're going to be all right, I promise.
J.P. France in a battle here with Jared Walsh. Well, the ironic thing with this 4-10 start is all the areas of concern to begin the season. Who's going to be the fifth starter? Who's going to be your middle relievers? 3-2 pitch is a called strike. Rung him up on a pitch on the inside corner. That was a perfect pitch by J.P. France.
That's a well-spotted changeup right there. Kind of gave up on it. Kind of just laid and stayed right there on the inside part of the plate and got a strikeout on it.
Now 2 outs, and Leody Taveras will be the batter, center fielder. So with the injuries to JV and Urquidy, who's going to be your 5-starter? Ronel Blanco wins American League Pitcher of the Week.
Yeah.
Who's going to be your middle relievers? So far, the strengths of the bullpen have been your middle relievers: Seth Martinez, Brandon Bielak, Taylor Scott.
Yeah, they've all pitched well, but everybody looked in the first week and they're like, oh my God, our middle guys are terrible. That's just not how it's going to happen. We haven't yet to play a series of games where you get 5-6 innings out of the starter. Then you get, let's say, Abreu, Presley, Hader. We haven't got that. We need 3 or 4 times in a row. Everybody kind of gets settled, gets their place, and we'll be off right into the running.
Well, you just watched that Kansas City series. One of the reasons why they're off to such a great start is they're getting 6 innings, 7 innings out of their starters almost every night.
Look at 22. We won a World Series, right? We led the league in starters, innings pitched, and the least amount of innings pitched by our bullpen. That's what we're looking to do again this year. We got arms. We got talent. We're going to get there.
2-1 the count to Leody Taveras. Little cue shot the other way. Greg Kessinger making his 3rd play of the ball game, and he makes it cleanly for a 1-2-3 inning for J.P. France in the second, tied up at 1.
Along at Space City HN, which Astros legends would you have loved to see compete against one another in a home run hitting contest? Baggy and Jimmy Wynn going head to head. Jose Altuve versus Biggio. Jordan versus Lance Berkman. Maybe some write-in candidates. I don't know. TK loves those.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I like this matchup, though.
I'd like to write those in, too.
Would you vote for yourself against Jimmy Wynn?
No. Has anybody ever seen me take batting practice? I'm the worst.
You don't like hitting home runs at BP?
No, I can't. It's just not possible. I'm just not good at it.
Seriously?
No. And Biggio and Altuve, no. I'd like to see Jordan and I don't know about Lance. Lance hit right-handed in the All-Star game for the home run hitting contest.
Because of the.
Well, he hits it. Yeah, because it's shorter and somehow he gets better backspin when he hits left-handed. Excuse me, right-handed.
John Singleton takes a called 3rd strike. So Singleton down looking. First out here in the 2nd inning.
Take Jordan against anybody.
Oh,
that's not close.
That is not a good call.
No, that's unhittable.
And Singleton has a pretty good idea of the zone.
He does. That's unhittable.
Now Jeremy Pena, the batter. I would love to have seen Jimmy Wynn take shots here at this stadium.
Yeah, I've never seen Jimmy play. I've seen the highlights and stuff like that, and I love the man. God rest his soul. But yeah, let's go with Jordan and Jimmy Wynn. That's our write-in.
That's his write-in. Jeremy Pena taps 1 foul. What have you seen out of Jeremy early this season?
Well, he doesn't have as much movement with his hands and his lower body. Last year he'd kind of bring his hands down and then he'd go up and down to swing, which means he would lose the ball. The side of the ball it bounces on him, and that's why you'd see him swing and miss and slider so much. Now his base is better, and his hands are in a pretty solid position of where he wants to hit from. So when he does go to hit, he goes straight to the baseball instead of to go up and then down.
Right back to the mound on 1 hop. Dane Dunning makes the play, flips it to first for the 2nd out. Saddle on up and look the part this Sunday. 10,000 fans will take home an Astros orange cowboy hat presented by Doggett. Get your tickets today at astros.com/promotions. That Sunday afternoon game will feature the local guy out of Alvin, Nathan Eovaldi, against Christian Javier. Pretty good pitching matchup.
Yeah, better bring your lunchbox if you're the Astros. That dude competes.
Yeah, he does. One of only 2 major leaguers out of Alvin.
I think I heard of the other guy.
Have you?
Maybe.
We're going to see a video of him hitting a home run later on today.
Nolan
Ryan.
Huh.
Yeah, that's going to be one of our features later on. His first game as an Astro, he hit a home run.
Well, since this is my first time, I want to let everybody know what I think about Dubon.
Yeah.
I think that Gold Glove is the best Gold Glove they give because it shows you how good you are at multiple positions. And how proud I am for that. And then as you look at his numbers as a whole, you would say, oh, he had a decent year. He had a tremendous year last year. Everything that we asked him to do, he did. With Dusty's help, hitting line drives over the second baseman's head, and just concentrating on doing what he could do to help our ball club. And I just think he was so valuable.
He puts the bat on the ball here on an 0-2 pitch and grounds it to second. So both pitchers have a 1-2-3 second inning. Dunning and J.P. France trading zeros in the second. We're tied at 1 after 2. Seager, these 2 guys at the top of the Rangers lineup in the regular season since the beginning of last year have done their share of damage against Astros pitching.
Well, yeah. That's a problem right there. We got to figure out a way to cut that down. We played well against the Rangers last year, and obviously we came up a little short in the playoffs, obviously. But those guys, they set the table just like any other offense, and they've done real well against us.
That was part of a $500 million offseason signing going into the 2022 season. Marcus coming over from Toronto. Corey coming over from the Dodgers. They got off to a little bit of a slower start in 22 and then turned it on as the season progressed, and it's been no stopping them ever since.
Yeah, they got a lot of consistency through the lineup. You know, with these two guys that are at the top of the lineup, they're always on base. And anytime you have guys on base, you always have a chance. That's what I was speaking about our offense. We lead the league in, you know, on batting average, third in OPS, but we just haven't got big hits when we need runs. We will do that because that's what we do, but that's what they do real well with Texas. These guys get on base and they get guys to drive them in.
Rangers last year led the American League in runs scored, led the AL in OPS. This guy was a big part of it. Hit 42 doubles to lead the American League. We mentioned he only played 119 games, but still was able to lead the AL in doubles and hit 327.
Yeah, I mean, if he played 130 games, he would have won the MVP. Oh, no, he'd have to beat Ohtani, right?
He had to beat Ohtani.
Yeah.
It's
kind of tough.
That's a little
tough.
3-0 the count. Same count that we saw Corey Seager hit a double off the wall his first time up.
Well, he's going to swing.
JP walks him on 4 pitches. Well, France, who has never enjoyed facing Corey Seager, has allowed him to reach base a couple of times tonight. He has now been on base 7 times in 11 plate appearances against France.
Yeah. He feels pretty comfortable, obviously. Kind of like Altuve with Dunning.
Right.
Yeah.
Here's Evan Carter. Carter's a guy we didn't see till late in the season last year. In fact, the Astros were already done with the Rangers in the regular season before Carter was called up.
Yep.
And they didn't see him until the postseason. This guy had a big postseason.
He had a huge postseason. He really did.
Only 21 years old. So they have sprinkled in some young stars.
That's the key
to the lineup.
You know, and that's the key, and that's what we're trying to do in our organization too. We're trying to find the young kids that we can come up here that can add a jolt, add some energy like he's done for them. Evan Carter's given them energy last year with the way he runs, the way he plays defense. You're always trying to get stuff homegrown.
Now he'll single into center field, played there by Myers, bobbles it momentarily, but Seager stays at second. Well, you were down the entire spring training in West Palm Beach. Which at-bats of the minor leaguers that really impressed you or stood out to you this spring?
You know, I was down there for like 6-7 weeks, so I saw a lot of at-bats. You know, you see a lot of cage time, but, you know, live at-bats. You know, what I'm looking for is guys that compete down there. You know, I think, you know, it's kind of, you got those non-roster invitees that are in the big league camp, which are the big minor leaguers, and then you have your other minor leaguers who are not in big league camp. There's some good young kids down there. You know, obviously everybody's heard of Jacob Melton. Bryce Matthews has done a good job. He's really done.
How about Loperfido?
Loperfido's done well too. He's got to make it just a couple adjustments, and I think he'll be ready to play. I think he's got 6 home runs already.
Yep.
You know, once he gets kind of his posture a little right, he's going to do well. And he handles himself like a big leaguer. He's a great kid. So looking forward to seeing more of him.
Change up over the head of Adolis Garcia. Loperfido seems to command the zone, which is something you don't really teach.
No, you don't. You know, you can tell people you want them to, but you can't. You either kind of have it or you don't. Although I have seen Diaz this year has gotten a lot better with the zone.
He has.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's made better swing decisions. After a first pitch changeup was over the head of Garcia, now he gets a second changeup, this one on the plate.
Everybody freaks out when you got a changeup over the head. Everybody thinks we're throwing at him again. That's ridiculous. So almost as ridiculous as Brian Abreu getting suspended for throwing at a guy with a close ball game. But
I mean, yeah.
I know. I just whatever. Sorry.
No, and it impacted the Astros this year too.
Yes, it did.
Astros lost both of their leads the first 2 games in the 7th inning, which is normally Abreu's.
Yes. Oh, he's a huge part of our bullpen. But I mean, everybody gets so crazy now. I mean, this was part of the game forever.
Forever. And if Adolis doesn't react, he doesn't get suspended.
But that's some of the stuff that happened during the season. That's why.
Now down with another changeup. It's 3-1. Big pitch coming up here for JP France.
Yeah, you got to make a pitch right here.
That's just off. Ball 4, missed with the cutter, so the bases will be loaded. Single in between a couple of walks. Now a word from Buick GMC.
There are trucks, then there's the truck. The GMC Sierra.
Big crowd on hand for this Friday night. They're sitting on the edge of their seat right now with the bases loaded in a 1-1 game with Josh Smith at the plate. Smith takes one down for a ball, 1-0. He was hit by a pitch his first time up.
Yeah, we gotta get back in the strike zone here. When you have more balls than strikes, you're gonna put yourself in a bad position.
28 to 25 balls to strike so far. The first 53 from JP France. And another one misses the bottom of the zone. Is 2-0. JP's first 2 starts, he walked a total of 3 batters, 1 in his start against the Yankees, 2 against the Rangers. Tonight, he has walked 2 in this inning and hit Smith his first time up. Now tip on the fastball, 2-1.
This is the most important pitch right here. The next pitch is always the most important pitch, but this one in particular with the bases loaded. There you go.
Coming back from 2-0 to 2-2.
Well, and he got back in the count by throwing fastballs. You know, we looked at, you know, the pitch selection that he threw before. He was only throwing like 13-14% fastballs the last outing. Threw 2 balls before, and then got back in the count with fastballs. So now he can use his breaking ball if he wants to, or even go back to the fastball, which is what I would do.
Threw the changeup and missed up and away, and the count goes full.
See, that pitch right there is never a thought of a swing, and that's the hard part.
And he hasn't commanded the changeup the last 2 batters. Now it's a full count. Bases loaded, full count pitch, way upstairs, ball 4. Missed with the fastball up, that'll walk in a run. So 3 walks in the inning. The Astros lead the American League in walks on the season. That's now 40 as a staff.
Time for a visit.
And it's 2-1 in favor of the Rangers. So when you see the percentage of fastballs that low, does that tell you that maybe a pitcher is giving too much credit to the opposition if you're not willing to challenge them more often?
Yeah, I think in the way the game is taught now, the game is taught, well, your best pitches don't get hit. So yeah, that's correct, but in order to make them your best pitches, you have to set them up with other pitches. Your fastball dictates what I think about at home plate. If I know you're going to throw me all breaking balls in the same part of the zone, I'm in pretty good shape up there. But if I know if I have to cover your heater and your breaking ball and your changeup, it makes it a lot more difficult. So if a fastball is never even a thought, especially in, you know, high leverage counts, then I'd have nothing to worry about, and I'm just looking something out over the middle of the plate.
So for Spencer Getty, for example, hit a second start, would you like to see a little more fastball use?
I'd like to see fastball use the inside part of the plate to make his breaking ball away a lot better. Because if I can lean out there the whole time, what do I have to worry about?
By the way, that was the first pitch strike for the last 9 batters.
Yes, and that's a big deal. We talked about that at the first pitch of the game. I said that's the most important pitch, is the first pitch strike. And I'm not the only one that says it. You hear it all the time.
But you're the analyst for this series, so we like
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that guy's by, but it bounces right back to Yiner. That bounced right back to Yiner Diaz. Carter had no chance to score. That's a good break there. It's 1-1.
It's a huge break.
Wyatt Langford grounded to Gray Kessinger his first time up. The Astros could use a ground ball at somebody here. There's a strike on the outside edge, 1-2.
This kid he looks like a pretty good little hitter. I watched him play in college, and he's got good movement with his bat right there. When he does that with his hand and he kind of pushes the barrel, he's trying to feel the barrel of his bat right there. But I think we can get him on a breaking ball here. Almost.
Tried to get him on the breaking ball.
Yeah.
And one thing we've seen during this stretch where the Astros pitchers have not been able to go deep is there's usually some inning that a guy gets extended. And right now, 24 pitches into the third inning, JP's only recorded 1 out. Trying to get an out here, ground ball to try and get 2 would be even better. That ball is foul. Yainer Diaz stepped on home plate hoping it was fair, but ruled foul by Angel Hernandez. If the count stays 1-2.
See, it's an interesting dynamic in pitching when if you play for the strikeout all the time, you're going to throw a lot of balls. You got to play. Sometimes it's okay for contact. I mean, when we get Fromber pitching and guys that throw 2-seamers, you're looking for contact to get 2 outs in 1 pitch. But it doesn't always happen like that when you. That's a problem.
Off the end of the bat, broken bat's going to fall in for a hit. Gets by Dubon, and that's going to allow another run to try and score. Here comes the throw. It's cut off. And the Rangers get 2 runs on that play. Might be a single or a double. Could be a single and an error as that ball eluded Dubon and allowed that second run to cross the plate. It's now a 4-1 Rangers lead.
We missed our spot again there.
That was supposed to be in.
Supposed to be in.
Going to call that a single, then an error on Dubon. Adolis Garcia had stopped and didn't start back until after that ball got away from Mauricio. Now pitch down to Jonah Heim. So long inning continues for JP France here. 3 runs in on 2 hits and 3 walks. Also an error in the mix. Heim fouls one back. It's 1-1.
So those become when you go back and you look and you see when you miss and where you miss. Those are the differences in big innings, short innings. Those are the things you can't miss by 17 inches. You just can't.
That ball hit deep to right field, and that ball is going to be gone. Jonah Heim hits one into the second deck here at Minute Maid Park to make it a 7-1 game. Hit a 1-1 pitch out for his second home run of the season. And the Texas Rangers have jumped all over JP France here in the third. Got a change up and took care of it to deep right field. So walk, single, walk, single, home run. 6 consecutive Rangers have reached base. And the pitching struggles continue for the Astros. They had starts on that last road trip, the last 4 games of 1/3 of an inning. Then Christian Javier pitched and went 5 1/3.
Yeah.
But then they got 3 innings out of Spencer Arrighetti and 2/3 of an inning out of Hunter Brown. So this bullpen has been overworked for the last 2 days.
Bad. And we just talked about it a little bit earlier. When we were successful, we had starters that went 5, 6, 7 innings, and our bullpen didn't go. Now, obviously, in the beginning,
this ball hit pretty well, but Jake looks like he has it lined up.
In the beginning of the year, you don't really expect guys to go 6, 7 innings, although that's just the way it is nowadays. So you have to have the bullpen, but when you're taxing it every day in the 3rd inning, the 2nd inning, the 4th inning, it becomes very, very difficult. Some of those guys out there, your Belaks and your Scotts and your Seth Martinez's, I mean, they pitched a ton. And it's different when you're behind, in the game by a ton of runs. It's different to go out there. I mean, obviously you have to do your job, but then you see snowballs and then you see 13 runs on the board.
Belak in the span of 6 days threw 3 times for 136 pitches.
Crazy, huh?
Crazy.
It's, you know,
basically one turn through the rotation.
Yeah, and that's a testament to Belak, you know, and what he means to our ball club to go out there and be able to do that.
This ball hit high in the air, playable for Kyle Tucker on the 1-1 pitch. So France is going to get the final out of the inning, but 6 runs cross the plate in the inning as the Rangers bat around and lead this game 7-1. Kessinger and Jose Altuve leading off here in the bottom half of the third. Where'd Baggy go? Oh, here he comes. Here's Shep Bagwell. Oh, Julia Morales is here too. Baggy,
I knew something was up.
you arrived just in time.
You almost missed my party.
You almost missed Julia's party.
Oh,
This
we got
is really
Julie's
for
party.
me.
Oh, look at this.
Okay, guys, I knew something was up. My microphone was working fine, and y'all drugged me up here to work on my microphone.
Cards.
It's a chocolate cake.
Can we just sit here and eat this and not watch the rest of the game?
So excited. We're going to have to run so much to burn this off.
Can we
It's going to be
see
great.
Wow, that is ridiculous.
This is
That's
kinda ridiculous.
huge. Here, let me put this.
Look at that
monitor
much.
down.
I'll even pull it up a little bit.
Let me put this monitor down.
Let's show how much chocolate cake we have.
That is
everyone.
huge. My gosh. Jake Myers sends one high in the air to left center field.
Julia.
Julia.
Just bring that to
Cards.
Farmer.
That thing is here. We're gonna show it again,
Drop
Maggie.
that on
We're
your
gonna show it
lap.
again.
That's all we
okay.
need.
Look how. I mean, that's ridiculous.
That's a chocolate bar cake right there.
That
Look,
really
this is a phone for
Thank you.
size comparison.
Did you? What happened to the
It's
monitor?
like 3 phones high. What's that?
Thank you, guys.
I don't think I've ever
Thank
seen
you.
it.
Yeah, we
Hey,
had
they
nothing.
got
We had
cards.
nothing to do with it. Did you
Yeah,
get the cards?
I got
tell anybody
cards.
that.
All of Baggy's notes are on the
Oh
board.
my goodness.
And first time I've ever done notes
Yard
in my
sale.
life.
First time.
I'm a yard sale. You know that.
First time you've done notes in your life. What are you talking about? You're old
You
already.
did do notes. I see them.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, this one's
That's-
Dunning's.
Thanks for coming up and joining us.
Julia, happy birthday.
My gosh,
Thanks,
that's a
guys.
heavy cake.
That's the biggest chocolate cake I've ever seen.
Happy birthday, Julia.
Yay.
Yay, you.
Hey.
All right, now we need a rally, Julia.
Yeah.
Greg Kessinger bats. Kessinger playing third base tonight, making his first start of the season. Greg made 9 starts last year in his rookie campaign. Ended up coming in to pitch that final inning.
Yes, he did. Dominated, too.
Dominated a 1-2-3 inning.
Yep.
That hadn't happened for a position player since Jake Elmore did it back in 2013, over 10 years ago. There was a shutout inning by Tyler White against Kansas City,
Yes.
but nobody's had a 1-2-3 inning as a position player since Jake did it. He was also a catcher that game when he pitched, Jake Elmore. According to Phil Boudreau, statistician to the Stars, August 19, 2013.
Yeah, well, that was. I kind of knew where I was then. Not really.
He did.
No, not really.
2-2 pitches off the plate.
But no.
3-2.
But Jay, I mean, Greg can do it all.
Yeah, and he's made 3 plays already today, which when you sit for a couple of weeks,
Now you're going to get all of them.
you're going to get all of them. Got a 3-2 count here with 1 out, and Dane Dunning working with a big lead and strikes out Kessinger. That is the second strikeout of the night for Dunning, 2 outs in the third.
Join the official kids club of the Houston Astros and sign up for the Astros Buddies Club presented by HEB today. For just $38 plus taxes and fees, Buddies Club member receive an exclusive jersey, hat, drawstring backpack, lanyard, and 4 tickets to an Astros game. Visit astros.com/buddies to sign up today.
Get you on the reads.
How about that? And I didn't even get a chance to read it beforehand.
No, there was no practicing. You're right in there.
I'm in there.
That's no BP hitting a home run on the first pitch.
Maybe that's what we need is no BP anymore.
Here's Jose Altuve with a 1-0 count. Oh, it's good to have you back in the booth. I know you watch every game.
I do. I watch every game.
It's been tough to watch lately, to be honest with you. It's been tough to call. The team's
Yeah,
been
I
getting
know.
down early,
Well,
and that puts
yes,
a lot of pressure on the
it
guys
sure does.
offensively.
It does. So a lot of the numbers you see, or some of that is a byproduct of that. When you get down 7-1, yeah, you got to be professional. You got to get your at-bats, and if you're not feeling well, then it makes it look worse. So those are the times you get, all these hits and you don't score any runs. But when you're down 7 and 8, it's hard. It's just not, and you put pressure on yourself. It's pressure on the offense, pressure on the defense where you might make an error where you normally wouldn't because you're trying to do something. you know, say Doobie's out there, he's trying to get a guy at third base and misses the ball, the guy end up going home and you get second and third. We just try and do too much, and that's what teams do when they go through slumps. The pitchers do it, the hitters do it, defense does it, base running does it. You see your base running mistakes get, you know, even bigger when you're struggling. You know, you're like, oh, God, we can't do that. But yet I watched last year, we did that a bunch. You know, so just everything gets magnified when you're going through bad stretches.
Altuve with a full count, pulls one foul.
And this is the part as hitters, when you talk to each other, you say, don't give at bats away. Because you get into these things where you're like, oh, God, we're down again already in the third inning. We're going to get beat again. But what you try not to do is give away at bats. And these are the bats where you go up there and you lose your concentration and you start swinging at pitchers' pitches. And then when you're special hitters like Jose Altuve, you can do stuff and foul off pitches and get yourself a chance to hit another one.
I mean, of his 20 hits, he's got 4 or 5 of them that have been those ones where he reaches off the plate.
But he's just special. He's one of them kids I used to tell George Springer, don't ever watch Altuve hit. Now, you can talk to him about hitting, but don't watch it. Because
you can't replicate
he's just special.
You can't replicate it, yeah.
When he takes some really bad swings, he doesn't put it in play, or he puts it in play where nobody can hit it. It's just, he's an amazing player. It's just been an absolute honor to watch him his entire career. Look forward to watching you for another 5-7 years.
Yeah, he's on base every time so far this season. He's reached all 14 games and now all 15 as he draws a walk here. That was a good battle. 9 pitches, put some pitches on Dunning and got on base.
Yeah, and you know, you're never out of a game when you have the offense we have. And I know people will be like, oh, no, we're out of this game. We're out. But you're really not. You're. I mean, who knows with Jordan? He's the best hitter I've seen. He's probably the best hitter ever been here. You know, he hits a 2-run homer, and it's, you know, we're down by 4. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, you've got 19 outs to play with right now. And you're down 6.
I mean, you never know. And if you say somehow we come back and win this game, think about what that does for our team. You know, the game we won when Seth came in, you know, we were down by 5 in the first inning, or whatever the heck it was.
Yeah, 5-2.
Yeah, and we come back and win that game. You can start doing those kind of things.
Kind of had a line there that may have been gotten by some viewers. You said the best hitter has ever been here?
Yes.
Ever.
I think he is.
Astros history.
I think he is.
You weren't bad. Biggio wasn't bad. This is the best hitter ever?
Well, the best I've seen here, personally.
Oh, that got him.
He did.
Jordan on an 0-2 pitch. That one might have bounced up and hit him on the bounce, just like Josh Smith.
I don't know if that one bounced.
It caught him flush.
We're going to find out. But I care a lot about this guy. No, it bounced.
Oh.
No, he's fine. Hit him in the hamstring.
How often do you see that? Once, like every few months, and you see it twice in a couple innings.
No, that it hit off the back leg on both guys. Now, you see the front leg every once in a while, not the back leg.
And pitches that bounce.
Yeah.
Like cricket.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
He's fine. But now here's Tuck. All of a
That's
sudden.
what I'm saying. You never know. Like, you start doing this, and this builds something. Now, he could hit into a double play, and when there's nothing for you and I to talk about.
There's 2 outs.
Oh, is there? I'm sorry.
That would be tough.
That would be tough. Thank you. That's why you're the professional, and they bring me in once a year. But say he
You're in
does
twice this year.
Okay.
The series of one other later.
Yeah, that's true.
Unless things really go off the rails.
Yeah, if the Blummy quits and stuff.
Yeah, there could be a review of our broadcast, depending on how things go.
They certainly are not going to pick me.
So, all right, so if you're Dane Dunning, you know what Tuck did to a changeup last time. And see how he attacks him this time. Goes with first pitch fastball up. Dunning's fastball sits right around that 90-mile-an-hour range.
Yeah, well, see, you know, it's funny you say that because I was watching the game. I think it was our game, and they were talking to Scherzer, and he said, "What happens if the guy hits a slider out for home?" He goes, "Well, I got to throw it again because I don't want it. He's not going to think that's coming." But a changeup's a different story.
Now he takes a cutter. Tuck didn't like the call for a strike, 1-1. MD Anderson strike zone, showing just a little bit in.
Yeah, it's like, you know, the problem with those is you can't get to the ball in like that. But those are the pitches you need to get outs. So even if those balls are balls, it's something Tuck has to think about.
Pretty similar pitch to the last one called a strike.
So now you would expect something soft would be away, which is probably that changeup, but he'd have to throw it again. and hope that Tuck doesn't hit it for a 3-run home.
Tuck's been hitting the ball more to left field than he has in the past. And he fouls this one away. It's 2-2.
But see, he's not missing with that pitch. He's getting it in. And so that's what I talked about earlier. When you're going to go in to your glove side for a right-hander, no, your arm side with a right-hander, you have to get the ball in. And for him right there, from his side, he has to get the ball in all the way across the plate. You can't leave it out over the plate. It either has to be in or off the plate.
Called third strike, top of the zone. Tucker goes down looking. The Astros strand 2 here in the third. And it's a 7-1 Rangers lead.
Tuesday night game throughout the season. Visit Astros.com/DollarDogs to get your Dollar Dog night tickets today. Thanks again for that. That was very nice, everybody that was involved.
Julia, that's massive, that thing.
Were you able to get it all the way down to your dugout perch?
No.
No?
So y'all just
Frommer
slice
would
it
steal
up. Exactly. Slice it up. Start eating it. Help me out.
Thank you. This one a little tapper towards third. Kessinger, tough play. Bare hand. His throw is wide, and it's going to stay in play. Simeon's going to go to second, and now Pena will cover third to make sure he doesn't advance any further. But that's going to be a hit and an error, kind of a do-or-die play there for Kessinger.
Yeah, I think in the scheme of things, you probably eat that one. But who knows? If I'm Kessin, I don't play every day, and I'm getting out there. I'm trying to make that play too. But that's what Bregman does better than anybody I've ever seen. And it's not an easy play because you actually have to act like you're going to throw that ball down the right field line, which he kind of just did, but it was inside the base.
So have it tail.
Yeah, that's what Bregman told me at least. I played third, and that's why they moved me to first, because I couldn't make that play either.
But on those bare hand plays or on those sidearm plays, the ball is going to tail.
Yeah, so you act like you're throwing it down the line a little bit.
Gotcha. Corey Seager bats and misses the curveball. It's 1-1.
Yeah, if I'm facing Corey Seager, I'm trying to stay as soft as I can on the outside part of the plate. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not throwing anything that can pitch in. And to be honest with you, right here, I'm being very careful.
It was a long inning, last inning for J.P. France. And again, Joe Espada's managing these games knowing his bullpen has been overworked. He saw Hunter Brown throw 40 pitches in 2/3 of an inning. He saw Spencer Arrighetti throw 43 pitches in his third inning of work.
Yeah, he's in a bad spot.
Blair Henley couldn't get out of the first inning in his big league debut. So you look at some of these numbers, they're big numbers of pitches that have gone on. I mean,
we got a 50 right there on Wednesday.
And Belak earlier in the week.
63. Yeah, that's almost not fair at all.
Abreu's pitched 3 out of 4 days. Taylor Scott's pitched 3 out of 4 days in back-to-back.
And you're not going to bring Presley Hayter and Joe Kuhnel, who just got called up, is probably going to get in there at some point here.
That ball not hit hard, but it loops into left field for a base hit. So even when Seager just barely gets a little barrel on the bat, he's able to get a hit against J.P. France on for the third time. Now a message from TXU Energy.
There's a point here where you got to go back and look at your scouting reports to Seager and Simeon, and whatever it is, either throw it away or just go totally backwards from what you think you're doing, or do with a Tony Gwynn and just tell him what's coming.
Here's Evan Carter. This is the same offense that yesterday picked up 1 hit in their final game against the Oakland A's.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. J.P. Sears.
This game is crazy.
J.P. Sears and a couple of relievers, including Mason Miller, throwing about 103.
Unbelievable.
They were able to 1-hit shut out the Rangers in a 1-0 Oakland win. The Rangers coming into tonight had lost 4 out of 5.
Yeah, I saw that kid that closes for the A's.
Mason Miller.
Wow.
Yeah. Like off the charts. 101 easy.
Did we see him last year a little bit?
A little bit.
Yeah, at the end. Yeah, he came in, but he was wild.
Didn't know where it was going.
Yeah.
Now he seems to have it locked in a little bit better.
Some good news there.
0-2 to Evan Carter. Yeah, the Astros won the last 2 games of their 4-game set against the Rangers, and then Oakland came into town over the weekend to Arlington and won 2 out of 3 against Texas. So the Rangers had Lost 4 out of 5, but the Astros trying to figure out a way to get back in the win column after winning those final 2 games in Arlington. 1-2 the count to Carter. This ball, a base hit to right field. At this point, Joe's not going to have any choice but to start to get the bullpen going soon. But we have not seen anybody warm up to this point. Joe Espada just in a really bad spot here.
He is. He's handcuffed. You know, it's unfortunate we're in the 4th inning. You know, we just saw the numbers of the amount of pitchers that we've used for multiple innings that are not starters.
There's another first pitch strike. We've now seen 3 out of 4 first pitch strikes, but it's 8 out of 22 in the game, and that's not. That's not going to bode well for them.
But if you get the first pitch strikes, then you got to be aggressive. You got to get the hitter defensive.
Evan Carter driving in his 4th run of the year. Now Adolis Garcia bats. He drove in his 14th run of the year. American League leader in that category. Singled his first time up, walked and scored his 2nd time. That one gets away from Yainer Diaz. Both runners advance at base, and the crowd here at Minute Maid Park growing a little frustrated here as the Astros trail 8-1, and now 2 are in scoring position. Phone just rang down in the bullpen.
And what I mean by that, you know, once you give first pitch, you have to throw a competitive pitch. You know, pitches that bounce in front of home plate, the hitter never thinks about swinging at it. And then the catcher has to make a heck of a block to try and keep the guy from advancing, which didn't happen right there.
Joel Kuhnel just joined the team today. The Astros optioned Parker Mashinsky to the minor leagues, and there is Joel. We'll start to warm up here in the 4th inning of this game with nobody out. That again was the last thing Joe Espada wanted, just like yesterday. The last thing he wanted was to bring Seth Martinez in the 1st inning.
No. It's unfortunate, it is, but it is what it is.
Now it's 3-1, and now Adolis thought it was ball 4, and Angel Hernandez says you normally need 4 to be able to draw a walk.
And I needed 1 out to get a double play the other day instead of last inning instead of 2 outs. So we all make mistakes.
Always dangerous though here in a 3-1 count to Adolis. That's a walk. So now the bases will be loaded for Josh Smith. The Rangers had 6 consecutive hitters reach base last inning, and that's now 4 straight to start the 4th inning.
Well, I know this is tough right here, but JP's got to dig down right here. We got to find a way to get out of this inning somehow.
88 pitches in for JP France. No outs in the 4th inning. And that one off the plate for a ball, 1-0. That one's popped up. Jose Altuve with the bases loaded and nobody out gets the infield fly rule called. He puts it away for the 1st out.
See, hitters can tell when pitchers are real. I mean, obviously the scoreboard tells you how they're struggling, but you can tell by body language. You can tell by certain things out there when there's blood in the water. And every hitter right now is thinking about that. They're going to get theirs right now. And that's never a good feeling to be. So this is where JP has to step up and really get after right here, so we can take at least something out of this.
That one blocked by Yainer on a breaking ball off the plate, 1-0.
It's a tough living to make when you're behind in the count and you got 45 balls or 46 strikes. It's tough to pitch like that. And I know he's not trying to, and he's doing the best he can. It's just facts.
Rangers last year finished the season 90-72, and obviously they went on to win their first World Championship. They had the same record as the Astros, but the Astros won the division based on their head-to-head series win last year. The Rangers the year before were 68-94.
Yeah.
And that's why they ended up having the number 4 overall pick in the draft and ended up getting the guy at the plate now, Wyatt Langford, who has got a 2-1 count.
Yeah, I don't feel like going 69 and whatever that number was. No.
68 and 94.
Yeah,
you don't need the number.
We don't need to know that. We already went through that.
There's been,
That was a.
Angel Hernandez is helping out here a little bit. The 2-0 and the 2-1 pitch, both off the plate.
Yeah, they were in between the white lines.
That's what you would call strike?
Yeah, well, I mean.
Now that you're up here?
Yeah. Well, yeah, if I was hitting, no, I wouldn't really be happy with that, especially with the bases loaded and 1 out.
Wow. Those last 3 were all off the plate.
That's how we used to hit in the 90s.
To Wyatt Langford's credit, he doesn't say one word.
No, he can't. And you didn't back then either. But in today's world, yeah, he said it, but he said it to himself.
I mean, this is probably his first major league game with Angel behind the plate, so you've got to get.
Yeah, but this is 2004. Where this just doesn't happen.
The umpires today are by far the best at balls and strikes they've ever been in terms of consistency.
Because they have that box.
They have the box, and they get judged. They get rated every game.
Yeah, the box really helps because when hitters go back to look, they can see it. Everybody at the stands, everybody on TV, they can see it.
And the guys that get graded out the best are the guys that advance to the postseason.
Right.
So.
But they are the best they've ever been.
Yeah.
I mean, that strikes those there.
That's what you dealt with your whole career.
Yeah, you do. Why do you think I was so low in the batter's box? I had to cover those pitches. I mean, it wasn't that easy. I only had to cover 17 inches, and then I would be a lot easier.
But you would know a guy's zone,
yes,
right?
You would. 100% you would. Every single one of them.
0-2 pitch, called third strike. JP works out of any further damage after the 8th run scores. So 1 run on 2 hits, 3 hits and a walk. 8-1 Rangers. Here's the AT&T Fiber fast pitch, talking about hitters against the fastball this year. Logan O'Hoppe hitting .500 for the Angels, and then Yainer Diaz, .474. That's why you see Dane Dunning start him off with a slow curveball.
Yeah, that's a good take right there. In the past, before this year, you'd see him swing at that pitch. He's becoming even a better hitter, and with his hand-eye coordination, bat-to-ball skills, it's pretty dangerous.
Dunning throws him another off-speed pitch, a slider, and this one, Yainer finds a hole between short and third. He's the leadoff base runner for the Astros in the 4th inning.
Some sort of breaking ball in the middle of the plate.
Now John Singleton will bat. Singleton was called out on strikes his first time up. Swings through the changeup, 0-1.
Try and piece something together here in the 4th inning. Like you said, we got outs left. Get down.
Garcia comes in from right to make this play. Singleton flies out for the first out. Astros will have Joel Kuno pitching the next inning as he continues to warm up. JP France threw 98 pitches today in 4 innings. The Astros continue to average just about 3.5 innings a start here for the last 5 games.
Yeah, that can't continue. Well, we can't have you can't. It's almost impossible.
And
it seemed like it.
The rule that does not allow you to carry a 14th pitcher doesn't help either, because then you're always shuttling guys in and out to try and have fresh arms.
Yeah, and I'm not. And TK, you might know way more about this than me, but I mean, if you wanted to carry 9 position players and the rest pitchers, why couldn't you do it?
They don't allow it.
I know, but why?
You should be able to.
Yeah, you can do what you want. It's your roster.
Manipulate your 26 man the way you want.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand that.
They make the rule of 13 and 13. I guess MLB does not want that many pitchers to avoid more pitching changes and keep the pace of the game going.
Yeah, because that's what. Yeah. But then we got all these pitchers that are hurt. Yeah.
And then you're shuttling guys in and out. The Astros have had Miguel Diaz up, and then he was sent
down and then released, basically.
And then same thing with Wander Suero.
Yeah.
Suero was optioned.
It makes no sense to me.
Suero was optioned initially, but then they needed a roster spot because Mashinsky was going to be down tonight.
That's crazy.
Belak was going to be down tonight. Martinez was going to be down tonight. They needed a fresh arm.
And here he is. Back in the game.
Joel Kuhnel.
Yep. I don't know. Just interesting stuff.
But one of these nights, and hopefully as early as tomorrow, because Ronel Blanco, the American League Pitcher of the Week, is going for the Astros. One of these nights, the Astros are going to need some length out of their starters.
Yes. Well, one of these weeks, more weeks and months, we need that. You know, that's the way to be successful. No matter what, you have to have pitching, and your starters have got to pitch.
Full count to Pena. Pena shoots one off of Dane Dunning's glove and into right field. Yainer Diaz is going to go to third. Good base running there.
Yeah. Nice job.
Yainer never hesitated.
No, that was good.
Bruce Bochy and the training staff coming out to check on Dunning. It looked like it went off his glove.
That was wrist, either one of the two.
Ooh.
Good base run. That's all on Yainer right there. That's good. He says, I have an 8-1 lead in the fourth inning. There's nothing wrong with me.
But now the Astros had 2 runners on last inning, couldn't cash in. Now first and third with 1 out, and Mauricio Dubon will bat.
Yeah, we don't. And we see the kind of at-bats right here. We don't need home runs. We don't need all that. You know, if you get one, that's great, but I'll take a single to right. I'll take another single to right, whatever. And then let the big man come up here at some point.
Nothing else. They need to get this Friday night crowd re-energized. They're ready to cheer for something.
Yeah, I don't want it to be for the fireworks.
Mauricio is 3 for 7 in his career against Dunning. Grounded out his first time up and takes the first one off the plate, 1-0.
You know, we talked about here in this organization for the last 7-8 years about keeping the line moving. Everybody keeps the line moving. You know, you just do your part. Do you.
Ground ball towards the middle, through into center field. Astros score a run to make it 8-2. Mauricio Dubon with an RBI single.
Okay, let's keep doing it right here.
Jeremy Pena going first to third as the Astros make it a 6-run game.
That's good base running right there. That's doing what you're supposed to do. Keep the line moving.
They would have had no chance to turn 2 even if Seager gloved that because nobody was covering the bag. Both Simeon and Seager went after it, and it got through both of them. Now Jake Myers the batter. Myers flied out to center field his first time up.
There you go. Same approach right here. We're just trying to keep the line moving.
Rangers infield back here with 1 out. Jake sends one through the middle. That'll be an RBI base hit. 8-3 game.
There you go.
Not trying to do too much.
No,
That's what you said.
don't. Take it through the middle. Take it the other way. Make them get somebody else in their bullpen up.
And that's the other part of the equation, Baggy, that we don't often talk about. The Royals came into that series with a well-rested bullpen. If you can get into the bullpen in a game like this, even if you don't come all the way from behind to win this game,
it sets up the problem that we have.
It impacts you the next couple of days.
Exactly right.
That's 4 hits in the inning, and they've scored 2 runs, first and second with an out. Now a word from Jack in the Box.
My $6.99 popcorn chicken combos are back. They've returned. They're here. I think you get the point.
Welcome to Jack in the Box.
Yeah, and if we can get into their bullpen, we get close. I certainly like our 7 and 8 and 9, inning guys. And you're right. This is going to dictate the entire series right here.
Greg Kessinger bats for the second time. Struck out his first time up. Gray looking for his first hit of the season. Only 5 at bats so far. A little tapper towards third. Smith is going to run into Dubon and make the throw for a double play. Smith and Dubon collided, and Smith was able to stay with it and make the throw for the double play to end the inning. That'll do it for the Astros in the fourth. They scored 2 runs on 4 hits. Ryan as a hitter.
Look at that. In the Astrodome, too.
In the dome, sends one out. His first career home run.
That's farther than Enos Campbell could hit one.
How about that? Was that Bacon left field? Is that against the Dodgers?
Oh, yeah. Look at Nolan just trotting home like it's no big deal.
Might have been Dusty Baker going after that long fly ball. Nolan Ryan with a home run on his first start as an Astro. And now here's Joel Kuno. We saw Kuno last year making his first appearance of 2024. Kuno will face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Rangers. Joel just recalled today. Parker Mashinsky optioned, and Wander Suero designated for assignment to make room for Kuno on the 40-man roster. It's 1-1. So that last play to end the inning in the bottom half of the fourth inning was kind of crazy, but you know, just a thought is everything in baseball now is you avoid collisions. There's no contact at home plate. You're supposed to. There's no contact at second base anymore. So it's almost like in your mind.
It's a video game. That's what it is. Baseball nowadays. It's a video game.
It's almost in your mind you can't run a guy over, but in that case,
yes,
Mauricio. But
you have a right to the base.
I understand, but in the mindset of today's player,
yeah, you're probably right.
The aggressiveness has been taken out of the game. Like Mauricio's last instinct on that play was to run the guy over. But
probably.
you're saying he could have very easily.
Oh yeah, there's not a problem. He's in the baseline now, or you just drop to the ground. But he was. I don't know if he saw it enough to see exactly what was going on. He's running, and he saw it pretty good.
But instead of playing bumper cars there, you could have tried to take.
Yeah, you could do a little bit more than that.
You're saying you're allowed to take him out there.
But you're right. That's not his thinking, because that's not the player today. Like, you don't think about taking a guy out at second base.
Right.
You don't think about taking the catcher out. So it's tough.
This is what we're talking about with the starting pitchers and why we've seen the bullpen implode in terms of usage. These guys, the starters, just have not been able to go deep into games. That is the last 5 starts.
Yeah, that's not going to get it done. Our pitchers know it. Everybody knows it. It's not like secret. Nobody wants to go out there and that to happen. We're just in a funk right now, and we're 2 of those guys have never pitched in the big leagues before. The other 2 guys are young, and things snowball just like everything. Like, you say hitting's contagious. Well, sometimes bad starting is contagious. And that's what's happening. When you're going good, each starter almost competes against each other to pitch better. And that's what we're looking to. And I think that's what you had in some of our best years. 19, you saw with JV and Garrett Cole. Who could outdo who? One guy struck out 320-something. The other guy struck out 300 right on the nose. I mean, that's what you want to try and get out of your starters, and we're just going through a tough time right now.
3-0 the count to the 9-hitter Leody Taveras. There's one for a strike. We saw Joel Kuno last year pitch 7 games for the Astros. Came over from the Cincinnati Reds. He was acquired in a cash deal in June of last year. Gets Taveras to chase that 3-1 pitch. The count's full.
Yeah, and that thing with, like you said, the guys today aren't used to that. You're not going to see Albert Bell running over Fernando Vina like they did that time. And you just don't see that anymore. So you're not used to that. So I don't blame Mauricio for that. It just became a very awkward play right there.
Yeah, it's completely it's not really in the thought process. Even when guys come down to home plate now.
Yeah,
in theory,
what they're going to do is get hurt by doing that.
Exactly.
They're going to end up an ACL problem.
In theory, you're allowed to, if you're blocked, go through the catcher.
Nobody thinks about
that. But you never see it. A ball caught by Myers for the second.
Now, that play you saw with Mauricio, generally you see that way more between first and second.
Right.
You don't see it at third. So it's a whole other island out there as well.
A tough call and a tough way for the Astros to end what was a rally there in the bottom of the fourth. Now Marcus Semien will bat. Semien started that last inning off with an infield hit. Rangers would score a run in that inning. He lined out to short in the third when the Rangers scored 6 runs. They would put 6 men on. All would score behind Marcus Semien in succession. Walk, single, walk, walk, single, home run. But Simeon's now hit in his last 20 games here in the stadium. He's approaching a record set by Joey Votto for a visiting player here at Minute Maid Park. 22 straight games for Votto.
Really?
Hopefully we don't mention that on Sunday while you're still in the booth. 0-1 pitch to ground and foul, because this guy will play today, tomorrow, Sunday, and the rest of the season.
Yeah, the rest of the season. Yes,
and he'll be leading off.
Yes, he will.
And he won't take a DH day.
No, and he will stand in the box the entire time. He won't stand out of the box for more than a half a second.
Kind of Jordan-esque.
Yeah, he is. Not quite as big, though.
In terms of staying in the box.
Yes.
0-2 the count from Kunal. A little punch shot into right center. Can anybody get there? Here comes Tucker. Sliding catch by Tuck for the final out of the inning. Kyle Tucker. Nice play for the final out.
There you go.
See him screaming, "I got it," and he did right before it hit the turf. Kunal, 1-2-3 inning. Bottom half of the 5th inning, Rangers 8, Astros 3. The Astros got 2 back last inning, looking for more here in the 5th with the top of the order due up. Jose Altuve taking one down from Dane Dunning, 1-0. Altuve has flied out and walked, and with that walk, he has reached in every game this year, all 15 games, coming in with a .452 on base percentage. Takes another one off the plate, 2-0. Altuve's had some really good at-bats the first couple of weeks.
Yeah, he really has. Him and I were just we're talking about it in the clubhouse. He's looked great. He really has. He's getting his leg down. His shoulders are staying square, and he's throwing through the baseball, which has been great.
It's hard to really get upset with that call because Wyatt Langford and others for the Rangers have had that call go against them. But as a hitter, you hate to see that call to strike.
Well, you talked about it a second ago, like different in my day because you're used to that. Well, you're not used to that now, and so you shouldn't be. And so it's tough. Like it's hard to just shake that off because then you have no idea where that outside corner is at all.
Should be a 4-pitch walk. Instead, it's 3-1, and now the count goes full. Check in with Julie after the batter as Jose Altuve leads off, followed by Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker, all facing Dane Dunning for a 3rd time through the lineup. Ground ball, backhanded by Josh Smith. His throw on the money to get Altuve for the first out. Julia?
Tonight's power play is presented by HEB. Yordan Alvarez, here he comes. Against the Texas Rangers last season and this one, so we're talking 18 games now, hitting .397 and OPS over 1,200, 23 RBI. But his career, including the postseason, it's very similar to that against the Rangers. Does rise to the occasion of the Lone Star Series, TK.
Yeah, he does. He's always done some damage against the Rangers. He's already been hit by 1 pitch. Had that one
got him again.
Hit by his feet. It's 1-0.
He always gets hit in the legs. That's what I hate.
Yeah. So does he.
Yeah, I understand that. But you can see they're not going to try and let him get the ball out over the plate to get his arms extended. So they're always trying to stay in there as far as they can get in.
Got in on him there as he sends this one to center field. And that'll be the 2nd out. Jordan was hit by 13 pitches last year, a team high. Now 2 outs. Here's Kyle Tucker. Tuck out the Astros on the board in the 1st inning with a home run into the Astros bullpen. His 3rd home run of the season, and it snapped an 0 for 11 for Tucker. He's also struck out looking. A lot of King Tuck crowns out there in right field.
Yeah.
You can always tell with the gold shimmer
You can.
in the stands.
Let's give him a souvenir.
First one he hit to the bullpen.
Yeah.
That one's down 2-0. You see some of the Tuck crowns out there in right field. the plate, 3-0. So it was 3-1 on Altuve with a pitch that could have been a ball 4 called earlier in that at bat, and now he's 3-0 on Tucker. That'll be a 4-pitch walk. So Dunning walks Kyle Tucker, second walk of the game for Dunning. Space City Mondays are ready for liftoff. Don't miss a minute of the action every Monday home game at Minute Maid Park, featuring City Connect jerseys along with theme ballpark integration throughout the game. Learn more at astros.com/Space City. This Monday it'll be the Atlanta Braves in town.
They can hit.
This stretch of 20 games in 21 days to start the season also featured 2 series against the Rangers, a series against the Yankees, a series against Toronto, a series against the much improved Kansas City Royals, and now after this a series against Atlanta.
It's a tough one.
It's a tough starting stretch.
It is, no question about it.
Want to know the count to Yainer Diaz. That part of the plate's just wide, wide, wide. And pitchers might as well live out there.
I would throw it out there every single time. Why wouldn't you? Why would you ever even throw a ball on the plate right now?
And they're not on the corners. They're a full couple of balls off the plate, and it's been on both sides.
Oh, it has. So if I'm a pitcher, and this is what I do for a living, throw pitches, I am throwing the ball out there.
And try to keep that.
Yeah.
Kind of like what JP did to Langford.
Yeah, why not?
If you're going to call it, I'm going to stay out there. 2-1 pitch. Could have been a strike, but missed the top of the zone. It's 3-1. Heim held it there for a beat. He's like,
well, yeah, he said, at least you'll give me that too. I don't blame
you've been giving me the other one. Let's see if Yainer can do some damage here on a 3-1 pitch. He doesn't throw many fastballs, but he might be forced to here. Threw one to him, and he flies this one to right, and that'll do it for the Astros. Walk, 1 man left on. We are through 5 here at Minute Maid Park with an 8-3 Rangers lead. Houston Astros baseball is presented by Fred Loya Insurance, celebrating 50 years of saving you more money on car insurance. And by your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Astros trailing 8-3 as we head to the 6th inning. Todd Callis alongside the Hall of Famer Jeff Bagwell, filling in for Jeff Blum over the weekend. Blummer attending his Masters event down there in Augusta, Georgia, and the birthday girl, Julia Morales.
Yeah.
Glad he could be a part of our Friday night broadcast here. Astros have some work to do down 8-3. Joel Kuhnel in his 2nd inning of work facing Corey Seager. Seager was on base all 3 times against JP France. Double, single, walk, couple of runs scored. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for Kuhnel to face here in the 6th inning. He retired all 3 batters he faced in the 5th.
So, tell you one thing, you don't have to worry about the pitch clock with Semien and Seager. They never leave the box, ever. Just in case you're wondering, they're still standing there.
Confident hitters. 0 down, 2-1. Kuhnel could bring it.
Yeah.
That's why they found him last year and got a few opportunities. Pitching that wild game in Anaheim where the Astros came back to win. Into center field. Myers has a pretty long run, but he eases up and makes the catch before he gets to the warning track. So Corey Seager flies out pretty deep center field for the first out.
405 feet to finally get him out.
There you go. Jake can go get him out there in center. Oh, Evan Carter, the batter. Carter 2 for 3 with an RBI single his last time up. So baseball is a crazy game, Baggy. You were talking about that in the beginning because when you came on our first broadcast that you've been with us, your message was it's too early to panic. Basically, we'd be roughly almost halfway. We'd be about a halftime in the second game of the football season. That's where we are in terms of baseball season. Game 15 of 162 is basically halftime of game 2 of an NFL schedule. So it's pretty early.
I was told there'd be no math when I got up.
No, I did the math for you.
Oh, okay.
So let's just say we're going into the locker room. The Texans are 0-1 and they're down big at the half. You're still not giving up on the season.
Of course you're not.
Because you're in game 2. But what you'd like to see, obviously, as Carter hits a double, is some starting pitchers give you length and your bullpen get back to where Joe Espada can use the bullpen the way he wants to instead of use the bullpen kind of in 9-1-1.
You're 100% correct. And here's the deal. We cannot win without our starters.
Yeah.
You cannot. You cannot try and piece it together. And we have got to get length out of our starters. If we get the length, which I believe we will, and the additions that we're going to get later in the season, we're going to be a great team. And as you've seen, you just got to get into the playoffs. Yeah, we wanted to win the division for the whatever time, and we want to do all this kind of stuff. At the end of the day, this team is built to win in the postseason because these guys have continued to do this year after year. They're not one time, not 2 times. They do it year after year after year. If we do that and we get into the postseason and we rattle off the way we can play, we can do some special things with this ball club. And nobody in the world wants to play the Houston Astros in the playoffs.
Well, they've won 6 straight full season division titles.
Yes.
And the year they didn't win, 2020, I've always heard you can't flip a switch, but that 2020 team flipped a switch when they got to the postseason.
And they were terrible during the season.
Terrible. Under 500.
And we got 1 game away from going to the World Series.
Got to game 7 against Tampa Bay. Garcia, base hit to right, might have another RBI. Tucker can't field it cleanly, so that will be a run batted in as Carter comes in to score. That'll make it 9-3 Rangers as Garcia drives in his 2nd run of the game and his 15th on the season. Watch a replay of tonight's game tomorrow morning starting at 6 a.m. Relive the Rockets and the Trailblazers followed by the Astros and the Rangers at 8:30 a.m. It's breakfast with your Houston teams only on Space City Home Network.
So the crazy thing about baseball, as you just said, so Garcia walks into this building during the playoffs, and he had 4 straight consecutive strikeouts against us.
Yeah.
And I don't think we've got him out since.
Oh, he used to be terrible here at this stadium.
Yeah.
Diaz has a shot to throw him out here. Good throw. Safe at second base. Another close play. Diaz has just missed throwing out the last 4 stolen base attempts.
Can't be better than that right there, I don't think. That was a great transfer, great throw. It's another good jump.
One thing Adolis does well is he goes in as late as possible to the bag. So he is diving and not slowing up.
Oh, no, he's a human torpedo. Yeah.
He's now 4 for 4 in steals this year. Now Josh Smith fouls one away.
He's gotten 2 great jumps.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. Everybody knows this. In case you don't know, you don't steal off the catcher. You steal off the pitcher. That's just the way it is. And if you're 1-5 to home plate, everybody's running. And that's just the way it is. If it was 1-4, I was gone. Biz was like 1-2-5 or something. 1-2, he's running.
Did you know all the times of the pitcher?
Yeah, you do. That's what Clarkie has it over there every pitch.
Did you when you played?
Yes.
Okay. So you knew who you could run against because that was before it was commonly known.
Yeah. If it's 1-4, I'm gone.
Okay.
But
when you say 1-4, from the time the pitcher releases the ball, from the time he starts his
right. And if it's below that, I can't make it. Now I will say the catchers throw better today than they ever have.
Yeah.
Obviously you have guys like Johnny Bench and Pudge and guys like that threw like crazy back then. But in general, guys throw real well. But the pitchers are slower to home plate because they want to get as much behind the baseball as they can because they're going for strikeouts all the time.
Was there ever a time that you knew a catcher maybe wasn't a good thrower and you could take advantage of a 1-3 guy instead of a 1-4?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would factor both in the.
Well, I factor that in, the time of the game, what the score of the game was, and all those. I mean, I wasn't a guy that generally you knew. I was a guy who. Oh no.
That is hooking foul, fortunately.
I have to pick my spots and what I think is important at the times. And generally, you can steal off relievers a lot more easier for a guy like me than you can. Dennis Eckersley came in the game and I was on first base. I'm gone. I'm not stopping at second either. I'm going to go to third too.
Really?
Yeah. Because he's 1-9 to home plate with his leg kick. there's certain guys that are like that. If you look at, our guys in the bullpen, we've made a conscious effort to make them faster to home plate because you just can't give up just stolen bases because 90 feet means everything to a game, especially in the postseason.
2-2 the count to Josh Smith, runner in scoring position. That one's off the plate, 3-2. Well, how about last year? When you look at how much teams advanced, the Astros were second worst in terms of pitcher base advances prevented. That's what you're talking about, working on not giving runners 90 feet.
Yeah, you can't, if you're in the playoffs, we had this long conversation last year in spring training about catchers on one knees and catchers on standard to see, is it harder to block balls? And there's no real data that says either way. So whatever happens, whatever they decide to do, they do. But the point being is, a ball that gets away from a catcher, the guy goes to second base. A stolen base in a playoffs where it only takes maybe a walk, a stolen base, and a broken bat single to get a run. Little things like that can lose you baseball games because one run, 90 feet, is so important.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of limit that. And that graphic just shows you we have to get better. And all our guys have.
Here's another graphic for you. So in terms of stealing on a pitcher, this is the leads guys had at first base before they took off. So 12.5 on average was the biggest lead in baseball on average to the start of the delivery to the pitch release. Guys had huge leads on the Astros pitchers last year. That's a base hit to right. Cuno gives up a hit, and Garcia will be held at third.
Right. So guys have big leagues because our guys don't have great moves. Okay, and they're maybe very, very direct when they're going to throw to first. So when I played first, I got a chance to see pitcher always changes his posture when he's told to throw to first base. So I knew when guys were coming over. Same
your
thing
own
here.
guys were coming over.
Right. So what we're seeing last year is guys are seeing when our guys are going to home plate, they get a bigger lead. Now we also have the new rule about throwing over two times, right? And everybody has the data of once they throw over one time, do they throw over the next pitch? No. So that's when guys get ready and they go. So they have all this data, bigger bases, and guys are 1.5, 1.6 to home plate. That's why you see the stolen bases go up as high as they have, and more importantly, the success rate. So guys didn't take chances beforehand because they didn't want to get thrown out because they were told, unless you're 75%, don't go because you shouldn't ever try, which I disagree with because there's probably at least 3 times a year when your offense can't score, you need to find ways to score. And some of that is stealing bases. But one thing that is for sure that needed is taking the extra base, and that's what we've made a big effort. Joe has made a big effort on pitchers being faster and us taking extra bases.
So on that graphic we showed you, started the delivery till pitcher's release. We're going to get a timer violation there on Cuno. It's going to be 1-0. But 12.5 was on one end of the spectrum, and the other end of the spectrum, Minnesota had a lead of just 10 feet from the start of a delivery to pitch release. So that's a 2.5-foot gap from the team that was doing it the worst to the team that was doing it the best. That's why it was such a point of emphasis this year for Astros.
And so we did that, and I think it's been great, and our guys have really made an adjustment doing that. You can see it with our starters. You see Javier now is not as long to home plate. Hunter Brown's making an effort on that. Guys are making the effort to do that.
Pitch is low. Should be a 2-1 count. They gave a pitch violation on the first one. The scoreboard still says 1-1. We've got it right here on our little bug in the bottom right corner. First and third with 1 out. That one's wide, 3-1. Langford was called out on a wide pitch his last time up. He's also singled and grounded to a fielder's choice.
Yeah, so what's in his mind right now? So I got to cover 25 inches of the plate. But I have a whole big space over there between second and first.
Oh, shoot. Hit him on a 3-1 pitch. So Langford will take his base, and that'll load him up.
Now that's not an arm guard. That is right on the elbow. That does not feel good.
Look, Kunal in 4 appearances at AAA Sugarland this year had 5 in a third inning, so he is able to go multiple innings, but you're looking at 42 pitches now.
Yeah.
So his pitch count is elevating. There's nobody warming up in the bullpen, so Kunal's going to have to eat up some pitches and hopefully some outs here as Jonah Heim bats with the bases loaded. This one towards second could be 2. Altuve bobbles it. He'll get the 1 out of it, but a run scores. Looked like they initially could have been out of the inning, but the ball was not handled cleanly, and the Rangers score on that fielder's choice to make it 10-3. Heim will get credited with an RBI, his 4th RBI of the night. Now Jared Walsh will bat. Walsh 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts tonight. He was the first batter Kunal faced in the 5th inning. Two 2-0 the count. That outside edge for lefties hasn't been called like the outside edge for righties.
No.
Which is the zone tonight.
Yeah, but like we've talked about before, when you're so used to dialed in and what it's supposed to be, it's very hard to kind of tell yourself that you got to cover that when you're not used to it.
That could have been a strike. 3-0.
That could have been a strike.
That could have.
Could have been.
It could have. It wasn't.
No.
I think this is the last year, Baggy, without.
Think so?
Yeah, I think next year it changes.
To what?
I think they're going to go with the challenge system. Automated balls and strikes, but challenge system.
Yeah. Well, if they do that, then they need to do it somewhere only in the 8th or 9th inning.
What?
I'm just telling you.
You're allowed 3 challenges.
Yeah. Well, I know some hitters are going to challenge as much as they can, and so you could be out of challenges in the 1st inning.
Well, that's your fault.
Well, that's not quite the team way to do it.
No, you got to tell your guys not to use them up. And I give Bregman carte blanche because he knows the strike zone better than anybody. But other guys, you got to say, hey, listen, there's base hit that could score 2 and will. Jared Walsh knocks in 2 more. And it's now a 12-3 game. Okuno trying to gut it out. He's right around the 50 pitch mark right now. So he's running on fumes. And so is Brandon Bielak, and he's the guy who's warming up now.
Yeah, he's going for the. This will be 140 pitches plus if he comes in the game. And
yeah, 136 pitches in the span of a week. So this will be.
Is this basically a starter?
This will be 8 days. Because he's pitched on that Friday when he threw 63 pitches. So in a span of from one Friday to the next Friday, he'll be at 136 plus whatever he throws tonight. It's more than a lot, and especially in April.
Yeah.
These guys are just wearing it right now.
And you know what? That is the words they use. They're just wearing it.
It has been an ugly stretch. The Astros have not been able to avoid overusing their bullpen. Taveras sends one to center, pretty well hit, but Myers is there, and that'll do it in the 6th inning. But the Rangers strike for 4 more. They lead this game 12-3 as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
The 10,000 fans get the bobblehead tomorrow when the Astros take on the Rangers. Secure your tickets at astros.com/promotions. That is a good one to grab. Also good to see Framber Valdez today, guys. Just him being around. He wasn't playing catch just yet, but hopefully he will in the next couple of days. So good news on him. Progress being made. Hope to see him thrown soon.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not anything major, which is huge.
Yeah, I spoke to him today just for a second. He said he's going to be fine. Not like Framber ever has any worries, but he didn't seem like he was too worried about it.
There's Framber, so more good news on Framber. The Rangers are going to try and get their closer right. Jose Leclerc is their closer and pitched a lot in the postseason last year, but he has not been right so far in 2024. Those are the numbers to support what I was talking about. So here he is pitching in a 12-3 game in the 6th inning.
Yeah.
Leclerc has allowed 8 of the 17 runs the Rangers bullpen has given up this year. And in 5 innings has allowed 6 hits and 6 walks.
Yeah, I saw the 6 walks.
He was able to get a 4-out save against the Astros in Game 2 of that 4-game series. And he's able to get John Singleton here on 3 pitches. Singleton now 0 for 3, 1 out in the 6th inning. Well, Baggy, I'm not sure when you're back in the booth again after this weekend, but we do a thing on Tuesday nights called Ask the Booth.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And if this game doesn't get any closer after this inning, we may have to open it up and make it an Ask the Baggy.
Yeah.
Kind of last 3 innings.
So I imagine the first question is to check my card to figure out if I knew what I was talking about, since I told everybody not to worry.
Are you gonna, what's your open going to be tomorrow? You'll have to work on it.
Yeah,
because there's a little more worry now, just slightly.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just it's one more game.
One more game.
I told you we're going to lose at least 50 more.
So that's one of the 50.
Yeah, it's one of the 50.
Okay.
Maybe more than 50.
But obviously, to your point,
what we lose last year, 72.
Losing 10 out of 14 can happen at any time.
They can.
When you do that at the beginning of the year, fans are going to be a little bit frustrated.
Of course.
A little bit upset, and panic is going to set in for some.
Oh, I understand. There's a whole bunch of panic going on across the street over there, a whole bunch of in the dugout, in the stands, all over the place. There's panic. I'm not going to say I'm a happy camper.
Of course you're not.
But I do know what this team is made of, and I know what's out there. They have everything available to them to win, and I'm going to bet my money on this team because that's what they've done.
Jeremy Pena with his second base hit of the night. Here's Mauricio Dubon. Dubon takes one up and in for a ball, 1-0. Dubon has grounded out and singled in the Astros' second run of the game. Kyle Tucker a solo home run with the first RBI, and then Dubon and Myers with RBI singles. Dubon just keeps doing his thing, hitting 280.
Yeah.
Like you said, playing everywhere in the field, playing to a Gold Glove standard.
It's hard to find guys like, as a matter of fact, it's very hard to find people like Mauricio.
All right, so if you do ask a question on social media, on X, just use the hashtag AskBaggy, and then I'll be able to find it. So AskBaggy. Special, one night only. Hopefully we don't do this again the rest of the weekend.
No, I don't want to.
2-1 the count. That's inside 3-1. So Leclerc, who struck out Singleton on 3 pitches, now has given up a hit, and he's 3-1 on Dubon.
If he doesn't get Dubon here, he's going to start worrying again. So is the manager, because their closer isn't getting right.
But that's, that's what Bruce Bochy does. He finds a soft landing spot for a guy.
Exactly right. You're trying to put players in the best position to succeed. Kind of got a down and out Astro team in this game, down 12-3. Give them a chance.
Leclerc appeared in 13 of the 17 postseason games last year for the Rangers, and had 4 saves in the postseason in their run. It was basically Leclerc and Spores were getting the job done out of the bullpen.
Yeah, that Spores pitched very well for them. He had really good stuff.
Spores currently on the IL. That one fouled away. Spores got injured pitching against the Astros last weekend. He's got a right rotator cuff strain.
That's never good.
Nope. Mauricio hanging in there at 3-2.
Yes, he is.
Mauricio getting the start in left field today. He started in left center, second. This one into center. Playable for Taveras. That's the second out of the inning. Time to play Name That Astro, powered by Reliant. Here are tonight's clues. Notable Hall of Famer. Switch hitter extraordinaire. Sister Christian. You know who that Astro is? Go ahead and send your guesses on X to @SpaceCityHN, and we'll reveal the answer to that Name That Astro later on tonight. Jake Myers takes slider for a strike, 0-1. Myers 1 for 2 tonight with an RBI. Leclerc spins the slider up to the outside part of the plate and gets ahead 0-2. Pena takes second. Not sure if he'll be credited with a steal or not, because nobody was really caring that he stole second. No steal. So the first question, Baggy, would you and Bish ever do an HEB commercial together? That was from Allison.
Yeah, the old timers doing it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You guys would be good.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
two pitches upstairs, 3-2. The guys at the plate, or the guy at second base now, Pena, Breggy,
Seen them all.
Tuve.
Seen them all.
Lance has done some.
Yeah.
Tuck. They all do a good job.
Yeah, they do. They're enjoyable. They are.
3-2 pitch. Misses the bottom of the zone. That'll be a walk.
Wow.
First and second with 2 outs. Leclerc wanted that pitch.
Yeah, he did. I just got no idea where the strike zone is, so I have no idea what's a strike and what's not a strike.
Leclerc was wondering that same thing. So here's Greg Kessinger.
Yeah, Bijan and I could do something together where we just play our positions and then have no can't see, can't throw, can't remember how many outs there are. Gray hair.
So here's what they could do. They could do one with you guys going to the HEB, but never getting out of your car. So the ones where they drop off the groceries and you sit there, you order in advance, so you don't have to get out of your car and actually move.
No, that'd be good too.
Right.
Or going out of HEB and then couldn't find our car. And Biz would have to Biz would have to re-step all his steps that he walked in to make sure he was lucky enough that we could find our car, because that was the reason why we got the food, because the steps he took to get into the HEB.
We're coming up with ideas as we speak. 2 guys rolling around the parking lot with shopping carts and I have no idea.
And I'm yelling at him. The same stuff you used to do when we played. It has nothing to do with the way we walked in and the way we walked out where our car is.
Somewhere the VP of marketing for HEB is writing all these ideas down. What do the count to Gray?
Yeah.
This is a good campaign right here.
Yeah.
Look at, we got something. Retracing his steps. 1-2 pitch off the plate is 2-2.
Yeah. It had nothing to do with how we got in here, the way we walked in.
It's good you can still have fun
yeah.
with the other Hall of Famer in this franchise.
Oh, he's easy.
Swing and a miss. Kessinger goes down. That'll do it for the Astros. 2 more left on here in the 6th inning. It's 12-3 Rangers as we head to the 7th.
It's presented by TXU Energy. Now, if you've watched this series closely here recently in the last couple of years, this may not surprise you, or maybe it does. It's just the wins, the Astros over the Rangers there 14-10. The runs are close. The Astros obviously over the Rangers there. Hits are close. But there are some lopsided wins within this series. You see 6 for each, where the team has won by at least 5 or more runs. So the offenses can go off at times when they play each other, which is very, very interesting. We are kind of seeing it today. We hope that changes with some time left, but that includes the postseason as well, TK.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about, some lopsided games there. I mean, that's a significant gap when you have a 5+ run win, and for that to, or 6+ run win, and when that happens that often.
Yeah, well, you got two good offenses. That can happen. Somebody gets going in the back, going sideways. You can put up some points, as you can see in this game when it's 12-3.
Brandon Belak must have a bionic arm. He's out there again.
Well, he's not scared. I know that.
It's amazing. Amazing how much this guy's been used in the last week plus. Simeon into left field towards the Crawford boxes. Dubon reaching for the wall, and he will have room and put it away. Just shy of the wall for out number one. All right, we're getting a lot of questions here on X with the hashtag #AskBaggy. Hey, here's our matches from Super Bowl. There's Dubon finding the wall.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to do it.
There it is. So David wants to know what you think, and you hate talking about yourself, so I have a feeling we're not going to get a great answer. What do you think your numbers would have been without the strike in '94, home runs and RBIs?
Well, I don't know. I broke my hand, but that year.
Let's say you were healthy. I guess we have to do two hypotheticals, right?
Yeah.
Two hypotheticals.
I don't, shoot.
Here's what you're projected to.
Just go with the projection. Let's go with
50 and 151.
Yeah.
Dang on. That was as locked in as you could be, right?
It was unbelievable.
What, I mean, from day one, from the jump?
No, the first month or so, I was getting my hits and getting some RBIs, just not really killing it. Then all of a sudden I got into a groove where I found what I wanted to do at home plate, got very comfortable. And then every pitch I looked for, I got. And every pitch I looked for that I got was the pitch where I wanted it. And I never missed it. It was crazy.
Like, it was a magical year.
It was unbelievable. It was 6 months or 5 months of just doing stuff that I was shocked.
This ball on the right, Tucker is there. That's the second out of the inning. How about the best team you played on?
98.
Okay.
We got Randy Johnson in a trade. We had Moises Alou, Bij at his best. Myself, Carl Everett, Derek Bell, Mike Hampton, Shane Reynolds, Billy White. We had everything. We just got caught in a 5-game series and faced the best pitcher in baseball at the particular time, Kevin Brown, twice in 3 games because of off days.
Yeah, that's no fun.
No, that was terrible.
It shouldn't happen.
I mean, you want to watch a great game. I can give you 2 great games to watch if you want to go back and watch games. Kerry Wood's 20-game strikeout.
Yep.
And Kevin Brown's 16 strikeouts against us in game 1 of the playoffs in '98.
2 most dominant games I've seen against them.
I mean, 95-mile-an-hour sinkers from your belt buckle to the floor, and then a 97-mile-an-hour four-seamer. Mix in a slider and a split.
They don't have guys pitch 3 times in a 5-game series anymore because.
But they did it to somebody. I don't know if it was this year or last year or the year before, where it was game, off day, game, off day, game. So you faced him on 3 days rest.
Brandon Belak just keeps getting it done in tough situations with his team down a lot. He keeps getting outs.
He does.
And he keeps throwing pitches. Belak, the bionic arm, keeps it 12-3.
I heard what Baggy's write-in was earlier. Which Astros legends would you have loved to see compete against one another in a home run hitting contest? Jordan is going to win. We want to see him versus Lance Berkman.
Yeah, that's the best one of the 3.
I mean, they were all good.
Baggy wrote in Jordan against Jimmy Wynn.
I've seen Berkman. I have never seen Jimmy Wynn. Lance can hit, though, I'll tell you that. One of the best I've ever seen.
Oh, we got a new pitcher, lefty Brock Burke into the game. We also have a new third baseman, David Wenzel takes over at third. Josh Smith moves from third to short, and Jose Altuve will lead off, and he'll test that new third baseman, just foul. 1-0, or excuse me, 0-1. Third pitcher for the Texas Rangers is a lefty Brock Burke. We saw him a couple of times in that series in Arlington. You see his numbers against Houston since the beginning of last year.
There is again, TK. Guy comes in to play third, and you got Jose Altuve out, and he tops one down the line.
Gonna happen, right?
It's gonna happen.
I mean, you were usually in the game. You didn't have to come in usually defensively, but that's never easy, right?
No, but I 94. I played 3 games in the outfield.
Did you?
Yeah, in right field, so we could get Sid Breen in the game.
What?
And of course, I got I got the first ball of the game hit a line drive to me in right field.
How strange was that for you to go into right field?
I'll tell you what, there was a lot out there. Brian Hunter was playing center. I looked at him and I said, "You got everything." I said, "There's a lot of space out here." And generally, I would think that outfield is boring, but when you're out there and never been there, it's straight panic mode. I did get an assist, though.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I ball down the line, hit the cutoff man, and threw the guy out.
There you go.
Exactly.
A little outfield assist.
Just doing what I'm supposed to do.
3 games in right field.
Yeah, I want no part of that. That's
Not a lot of Astros fans remember that.
No, why would you?
Well,
it's 30 years ago.
people remember everything that you did.
Yeah.
1-2 pitch foul. Tuve on the night is 0 for 2 with a walk. Astros down 12-3. Brandon Bielak gave them another inning after Joel Kuno gave them 2 innings. And now at some point you're going to have to use your leverage guys, even though it's not the situation Joe wants to use them in. But Ryan Presley warming up as Altuve strikes out. Now a word from Fubo.
Space City Home Network is now streaming on Fubo. Try free at FuboTV.com.
See, that's the at-bat right there I talked about earlier about, when you're giving a bat away. It's not like he tried to give it away, but you're just, the adrenaline's not there. It's 12-3 in the 7th.
You got to trick yourself into saying it's like a 2-1 game.
Yeah, and it's not, when you played as long as Jose has, it doesn't happen like that.
Right.
Now, if you're Langford or something on the Rangers, he can't wait to get his at bat. It doesn't matter.
Right. Here's Yordan Alvarez. This is our pick. This is our pick the stick guy. So far he's 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch.
Yeah.
I think we get a point for hit by pitch. I'm not sure. I'm still learning the rules as we go along.
Well, this could be a homer right here.
You feel it? 2-0 pitch?
I don't know.
Last time you called a wild pitch.
Yeah.
They're almost hitting him every at bat.
Take him out of the game. We can't afford this.
The problem is there's not a lot of bench.
There's none. No, you can't. I'm just.
That almost clipped his jersey.
Yeah.
3-0 the count. Oh gosh. Oh. What's going on? Got hit earlier. Almost got hit in the 5th. You almost lost your FCC license on that one.
I did. I didn't say it though.
No, you were great restraint, like Tiger holding up his swing. When you hear somebody scream in the back.
Well, I just said take him out. We can't afford that. I got other things I could say right now too.
Yeah, I mean that's obviously it's not the intent.
No, but it doesn't matter.
Not right.
That's Yordan.
That's Yordan.
Doesn't matter.
That's exactly right.
Doesn't matter.
By the way, it was Derek May you threw out at the plate. Phil Boudreau checked on that on your relay throw.
I love the fact that it was Derek May.
You do.
I love Derek May. Oh, I wish I knew that.
Well, now you do.
When I used to. Oh,
Tucker!
there's a homer. Stand and watch him. Nice job.
Deep
Ted.
to right field. His second of the night. That's into the second deck. 12-5 on Tuck's second home run. Kyle Tucker doubles up his home run total on the season tonight with 2 home runs. Now he has 4, matching Yordan Alvarez. That's one way to pay back a hit by pitch.
Sure is. That's how you do it. You let him know too.
Now Yiner Diaz the batter. Yiner 1 for 3. That was majestic.
Yeah, it was. Tuck took that. He took that personal. Took a look out there on the mound and let him know. I mean, that's good stuff right there as far as team-wise.
Here you go back. Here's another look at.
You can't do this to our players and stuff like that. So Tuck let him know. That's how you do it.
And that's what the other 8 guys out there on the field behind Brock Burke are thinking is, look, it's 12-3.
Yeah.
Why are we going in on Jordan Alvarez on a 3-0 pitch?
Yeah.
And again, it's not intentional, but it adds up to stuff that could happen.
It does. And especially, you know, us with them, with the stuff with last year. You know, same stuff as last year.
Yeah.
You know, when Garcia got hit.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the little things. But you know what? Maybe this turns a little bit of a, you know, gets us going a little bit. I like to see it. I never like seeing Jordan get hit, though, especially in a game like this.
And Tuck obviously was not real happy about it.
I mean, I like that. I mean, we're family.
Yep.
You know, we spend 9 months a year together, more time than you spend with your family itself, your real family.
Diaz goes down on strikes. 2 outs in the inning. Astros' upcoming schedule is presented by Fubo TV. It doesn't get any easier before the off day as the Rangers play here Saturday and Sunday. Then the Atlanta Braves come into town Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then the Astros get just their second off day of the season. Then they'll have a bunch of off days on that road trip. An off day before the Nationals series, an off day before the Cubs series, an off day before the Rockies series in Mexico City, and then an off day coming out of that series in Mexico City.
Mexico City.
You going?
No. I've been.
You've been?
Yeah. We played down there for a couple games.
1-0 pitch is sent into left center field. That'll be down for a hit. Cutting it off is Evan Carter. Singleton's going to try and go to second base, and he is going to get there with 2 outs. John Singleton doubles here with 2 outs.
That's a good swing. That's what John needs to do, is think about hitting the ball to left center right there.
So the 3 lefties in this inning against the lefty Burke have been hit by a pitch, homered, and doubled. Draw a visit from Mike Maddox, pitching coach.
Well, another good thing on this too, TK, is you got this lefty that comes into the game here, is you get our lefties to see him. So the more you get to face a guy, the more you have an idea of what the ball looks like out of his hand. So those are positive things there too.
Well, Jeremy Pena will bat for a 4th time. Pena already has 2 hits in the game. He's 2 for 3.
You know, when we faced the Dodgers in 17, you know, the unhittable Dodgers bullpen, we saw them every single night.
Yeah.
And that helps. That helps hitters. It really does.
Yeah, Dodgers hadn't given up anything out of the bullpen in the DS or CS, and the Astros able to get to them. Pena takes one off the plate, ball 1. Pena has that average sitting right at 333 on the season.
That's good.
19 hits in 57 at bats. There's a strike.
So one big thing is when you make a swing change, you got to stick through it. You know, sometimes it always right off the get-go it doesn't work, but he's sticking with this. He's having success, which is really going to help down the road.
Off the glove of Burke, slows it up. Smith bare hands and not in time. That's going to be a base hit. 3rd hit of the night for number 3. And the Astros have 2 runners on here with 2 outs in the 7th. He can get down the line better than anybody else on the team.
Yes, he can.
Over 30 feet per second at times we have seen. And Bruce Bochy will go to a new pitcher here in the 7th. So Burke goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 3 hits and a hit by pitch. He's responsible for the 2 runners on. 2 runs are in the inning. We'll have a pitching change here. 12-5 game in the 7th.
TV for details. I messed that up.
Try it again. We're live, but try it again. Oh, you lost the script?
Yeah, I lost it. They took it away from me.
God.
I said I'm tired of you. I know, I messed that up.
MLB.tv.com.
Hey, thank you. MLB.
Here's Grant Anderson, new pitcher
I messed up.
for the Rangers. We'll give you 2 more shots.
I'm a novice.
We'll give you 2 more shots.
Okay, I did the first one good.
It's real. The first one's beautiful.
Perfect.
Yeah. You got a little confident. Hey, Dubon's got himself another RBI. Dubon with a 2 RBI night. That's now a 12-6 game as Singleton crosses the plate.
There you go.
Grant Anderson, the new pitcher, greeted with a first pitch base hit. Well, the Astros still tacking on runs here.
Yeah, it's kind of what we talked about earlier about getting in their bullpen, getting more at-bats against them.
Doobie fired up. Now Jake Myers has been on base the last 2 times. Takes one for a strike, 0-1. That's the pitch that's been a strike for both sides tonight. All of a sudden, a big fly here makes it a 3-run game. This one's hooked towards the corner. That's going to be down for a hit. In comes Pena. Dubon is going to be held up. He runs right through the stop sign and scores without a throw. Gary Pettis was holding him up the whole way, and Dubon kept going.
Why not?
The play was kind of in front of Dubon.
Yeah.
So he just took it upon himself to run through the stop sign.
Yeah.
You see Gary Pettis right here, hold him up.
He was in the base like he did a few days ago with Tuck.
Now it's a 12-8 game. We're still in the 7th inning as Jake Myers takes a, or excuse me, Greg Kessinger takes a strike.
And they're scrambling around the bullpen down there already.
Kessinger looking for his first hit of the season, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts tonight. Well, these stands are getting revved up here. Gary's like, all right, you do you.
You do you. Yeah, exactly. Standing up, too.
Yeah, no throw. Now 1-2 to Gray. All of a sudden, a 12-8 game with the Astros scoring 5 here in the 7th. Brock Burke charged with 4 of those 5 runs, and one of them on the ledger of Grant Anderson. Now David Robertson warming up in the Rangers bullpen. It's Kessinger, the 9th batter of this inning.
Yeah, let's bring them all in. Let's get as many as we can out there.
Little tapper, tough play. Smith able to make it to get Kessinger for the final out of the inning. How about Mauricio Dubon? Singled in a run, also scored a run, trying to get his dugout fired up here. The Astros back within 4. It's 12-8.
I like it. I like it.
Hall of Famer, switch hitter extraordinaire, and switch and sister Christian. Did you get tonight's name that Astro? Lance Berkman, member of the Astros and the Cape Cod Baseball Hall of Fame. 366 home runs, number 6 all-time among switch hitters. Currently the head coach for the Houston Christian baseball team. Big Puma tonight's name that Astro. Adolis Garcia facing Ryan Presley. Presley maybe never has pitched in a game for the Astros down 4, but that's the scenario tonight just because you have to throw somebody.
They need some work too, a little bit probably. But yeah, you have to throw somebody.
There's no more arms available other than leverage guys. As Garcia lines one to center, Myers got a good jump on it, comes in and makes that play for the first out. Our best in Texas power pitcher is driven by Ford. Seth Martinez and Taylor Scott. We mentioned Brandon Belak last inning, but these two guys as well. 12 innings without a run. 8 inherited runners to score. They didn't allow any of them to score on that last road trip. Martinez and Scott ate up a lot of innings along with Brandon Belak, and those are thankless innings, but it sets up the rest of your bullpen to be able to have success.
Yeah, that's what you hope, but then you can't keep doing it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
at some point, something has to give.
It has to give. Yeah. It has to be our starters.
Starters need to give the Astros length. This ball looped into center. Can Jake get there again? Yes, he can. Jake caught a line drive, and now he catches a blooper. So Presley has 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning. And we're in the 8th inning right now, so Bruce Bochy was probably thinking maybe avoid his high leverage guys, but he might not be able to afford to now.
Now with the top of our order coming up.
Now here's Wyatt Langford. This was a 12-3 game going into the bottom of the 7th, and the Astros put up a 5 spot against Brock Burke and Grant Anderson.
Cowboys could use a linebacker. This is probably a kid that could play for them.
Big boy.
Yes, he is. I just watched him run the bases, too. He knows what he's doing there, too.
Couple of runs scored tonight, 1 for 3 with a hit by pitch. Takes that one in. It's 2-0. Langford, 44 games in the minor leagues last year. He was the 3rd quickest draftee ever to get to the major leagues in terms of minor league games played. Keaton Cavilion never played a minor league game.
0. Yep.
Right from Oklahoma State to the big leagues. John Olerud only played 6 games after leaving Washington State to the big leagues, and then this guy played 44 games last year. 3-1 the count to Langford. And that one's down, ball 4. So Presley allows a 2-out walk, and will face Jonah Hyde. Presley last worked in a game against the Kansas City Royals, the first game of that 3-game series. So and a couple of days off, which is 2 more days than most of the guys in the bullpen. Oh no, it's got away. Nice play by Singleton to keep that at first base.
If I'd have hit the first base coach, he might have been okay no matter what. Yeah, we really haven't had a scenario where it's all mapped out perfectly for starter 7 or 9.
Oh, even some of those wins with the no-hitter and the 1 hit were big leads.
Yeah. So we've never really got into a groove on that.
The first 6 times he pitched for the Astros, it was 2 leads, 2 ties, and 2 times when they were down.
Yeah.
That's not how you use your closer.
That's not how we drew it up. But it's okay. We'll get there.
Two and 2 the count. Joey Loperfido hit another home run tonight. He's up to 7 on the season.
Did he?
Yeah.
Where are they at?
They're playing in Albuquerque. They play 6-game series. They don't play on Mondays, and then they play 6 games against the same team, and then they don't play the next Monday. That's how they roll. Loperfido 2 for 3 with his 7th home run. Actually, he's got 2 tonight. He just got 1 again in the 7th inning. So yeah, he's up to 8. What were you saying you would like to see him tweak?
No, he was just he gets his torso back just a little bit. So I know our hitting coordinator was going to just talk to him just to move his torso up just a little bit so he could still is doing the right things,
Yep.
pitches and all that kind of stuff, just to get him a little bit more on top of the baseball. So I don't know, he's done great.
Yeah, 8 home runs later, it's working.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Presley gets through the 8th inning, a walk, 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 8th. It is 12-8.
I say earlier today he'd love for his club to zone in, focus in these situations, do a better job picking the right pitch, playing some small ball. Well, we've seen tonight they're 5 for 9. Jeremy Pena coming through in the 7th. Now, what you're looking at, there's been some struggles in this category you see this season for some of the guys that we are used to seeing come through in these situations. You see their career numbers below that. So we know they can do it. They have done it their entire career. It just has yet to get going. Baggy, it's tough when you're in the middle of it. It's tough when you're watching it, but we know these guys will come around.
Yeah, I mean, they've done it, like you said, Julie, their whole career. And that's a very, very small sample size right there. So things happen like that. You go 4 for the next 4, and next thing you know, you're over 300. So it's one of them things that we haven't done it collectively, but we'll get better at it. We will. Tonight's a good sign, but we'll get better.
Jose Altuve leading off here in the 8th inning. Facing a new pitcher for the Rangers, it is David Robertson. Robertson, veteran right-hander. Pitched last year with the Marlins and the Mets. Altuve greets him with a fly ball to center field, playable for Taveras, and that's out number 1 here in the 8th. Altuve reached on a walk his 2nd time up. 0 for 4 night so far here in the 8th inning. That'll bring up the big man, Yordan Alvarez. Yordan has been hit by 2 pitches, and he's flied out to right and flied out to center.
Like Julie was talking about, and what we talked about earlier, I mean, this is 15 games. I mean, we play 162. This has been the best team in baseball the last 7 years, so I like our chances.
How do you like this 2-3 alignment with Yordan and Chuck?
Yeah, I know it's taken a little bit of used to for me too, but I know the reasons why. I've seen the numbers. It gets Yordan about 40 plus more plate appearance hitting second than it does third. You know, the only difficult part for Jose is for Yordan is Jose's a free swinger, so he's got to be kind of get it going a little bit when he's not DHing. But I mean, he's doing pretty good.
You think?
Yeah, he's not too bad.
This guy can hit anywhere.
Yeah, pretty much. As long as he's in the lineup, he's going to hit. He's special like that.
Nice protection though when you got Tuck behind him.
Oh yeah. And you know, Tuck can steal bases too. So in case Yordan doesn't get on, Tuck can steal bases. You know, eventually Alex is going to do his thing, drive in a ton of runs like he has his whole career. And we'll get this train rolling again.
By the way, we mentioned Presley doesn't pitch in many down 4 situations. Same thing can be said about Josh Hader, but Hader will be used tonight as well, it appears, as he is warming up.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get guys in the game.
Yep.
Because the most important thing is throwing pitches is getting feel. You know, feel for where you're throwing the baseball. And if you don't pitch, then you don't get a chance to get out there. You don't get feel.
You have to cover 27 outs too, and everybody else in the bullpen.
There's nothing you got to do. You just got to go out and be a professional and do your job.
As Hader and Presley pitched in the game on Friday, or in the game on Monday and Tuesday, excuse me, in Kansas City.
Yep.
So they pitched 3 days ago, but yeah, they're going to pitch tonight just because there's a lot of guys that were down. Yordan hits the ball well in the left center field. Back goes Taveras. He has a line on it and puts it away. Pretty good running catch there by Leote on the warning track.
He can cover some ground out there. You saw that in the playoffs. He robbed Yordan of a home run. That 1 ball.
Yeah, he can go get it out there.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, why not, Tuck? Do it again.
Leote's a cousin of former Astro outfielder Willie Taveras.
He could go get him too.
Really?
Yep.
Tuck's got 2 home runs tonight. got a solo shot in the first and a 2-run home run in the 7th.
You hear him yelling?
Who?
Robertson?
Nope.
Said that was so bad.
Oh, that was him yelling at himself?
Yeah, he missed the spot for so bad. I love that.
Oh, what a stop by Jared Walsh. Robs Kyle Tucker of his 3rd hit of the night. Walsh, a spectacular play at first. Take one away from Tuck, who had his 5th multi-home run game and has one robbed here. Smooth play by the left-hand throwing Jared Walsh. Car or truck accident? Call attorney Steve Lee at 713-CALL-LEE. And by Shoppa's John Deere, the build it, price it, own it tool, exclusively at Shoppa's, all things John Deere. 9th inning baseball, Rangers 12, Astros 8. Rangers jumped out in front 8-1. The Astros have tried to battle back, but they're down 4 heading into the 9th inning. And as we talked about earlier tonight, not normally where you would see a Josh Hader, but the Astros need to cover some outs here out of a bullpen that has been taxed lately with short starts. So Hader getting his 7th outing of the season in his Astros 2024 year, and 3 of those 7 have been with his team down, and tonight down by 4. He's pitched down 1, down 2, even a couple of times, and now down 4. Only 2 times of the 7 has he pitched with the lead. And the Astros have either had huge leads in games that they've won, or they haven't had a chance to use him the way they've wanted to. As he gets a swinging strike here on Jared Walsh.
Yeah, not quite how we drew it up, as I said before, but in the long run, this is going to be pretty impressive when you get their bullpen and the way they're going to be deployed.
Trying to hold up, and that's a swinging strike. So Hader strikes out Walsh to start the 9th inning. We're having fans ask you questions earlier, Baggy. We have one from Dean as we look at Hader get this high riding fastball for a check swing that wasn't checked by Walsh. Dean said, even though I know you love playing for the Astros, just curious at the time when you found out you're being traded from the Red Sox organization, being from New England and a lifelong Red Sox fan, how did you handle that initially? Things have changed now.
Well, I had no clue that was coming. I didn't know anything about the business. That was my first full year in the minor leagues. And then having a very good year in Double-A, and then all of a sudden get traded. I'm like, traded to where? They're like, Houston. I said, Houston. And I said, where the heck's that? I said, that's Nolan Ryan and tumbleweeds and horses. But obviously that's not the truth, except for the Nolan Ryan part. But I was confused. I just didn't know about it. And I learned very early that the game's a business and those things happen. And it was the best break. My father actually said it's the best break you'll get. Because they're rebuilding. And at the time, he's like, Caminiti hit like 240 that year. I said, well, I can hit 240. I was hitting 330 something in Double-A. And then
you were at New Britain at the time?
I was, yeah. So, it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me in my career.
And here you are.
To get an opportunity. Here I am messing up the promos.
The first one was brilliant.
First one was good, but then this whole Jordan thing messed me up.
2-2 the count. Your adrenaline still flows when you see.
I do. Yeah, because I can't handle that.
And you love what Tucker did as a response.
Oh, I love that. There's other stuff that I would love to, but those things don't happen. But I can't see Jordan get hit like that. He's always having to move his feet and get hit, and I know what he means to our ball club. So, I'm just like any fan.
Oh.
And then if you take my baseball part and the way I played baseball, it takes myself to another level.
I'll hear you. I like it. Good.
I just, I care about these guys, and I care about them, and I want them to understand that they're the bullies, and because we're the Houston Astros.
Does every guy understand that?
I hope so.
But that's what you want their mentality to be.
I want them, when they walk on the field, the other team's going, there they are. And that's what I feel about them, and they should feel that same way about themselves. They have more than proved that.
every year for
They're
7.
the best team, and I don't care what the Yankees just did to us. We've beaten the Yankees since 2015 in every postseason series, and all these other teams we beat. And we're a dominant team, and they need to know that, and they need to act like that's who they are, and they are. They're just going through a tough spot.
Semien hits this ball hard down the line, but foul. It's 2-1.
I mean, these are dudes. We got dudes on this team.
And this guy who's on the mound now is maybe the baddest dude of all the closers. He just hasn't been. Who would have thought this late into the season we'd be sitting here and he's just pitching in.
Right, but we start rattle off 5-6 inning starts and our starters, and next thing you know, he ends up with 15 saves by end of May. So I mean, the sky's the limit. And this kid, he's no excuses, great kid. What Presley has done is come and pitch the 8th now, which is amazing of him, and just cares about the team and just a true professional. Brian Abreu's, he's as dominant as it comes. All the guys in the bullpen that have stepped up and pitched innings and when their arms probably killing them and still going in and done that. And our offense, whether we're terrible with runners in scoring position now, it only takes 1 week to fix that. So I got all the faith in the world in these guys.
And you mentioned the Altuve at bat when they were down 12-3, how you try and pretend like it's the same, but it's not.
It's not.
And the same thing for a closer.
Oh, it's the same thing. You try, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same adrenaline. And I look back at my career and I said, man, I wonder how many at bats I gave away. Okay, look at this game. Say we're in the 4th and we're down and we don't score the 5. We score the 5 and go, oh, I'm gonna have to have another at bat, and they can't take me out of the game.
Hader strikes out 2 in a perfect 9th inning. Astros go to the bottom of the 9th, down 4.
The Astros offense was explosive against the Mariners. Springer had the 2-run shot. Jose Altuve went grand salami. La Pina grand slam as well. Altuve was going through some kind of power surge at this time. That was his 6th home run of the season already. And we're talking, this is the date back in 2019. Guys, there was a fan that came up to me earlier today to tell me it was her birthday, so we shared birthday wishes, and she said, do you remember when the Astros hit all those grand slams on our birthday? And I said, it's too bad you're here. You can't watch the Toyota get out and play feature today.
There you go.
Do you have crickets there too, Julie, on your birthday?
No.
Don't they have crickets there?
I mean, they had them, but I only tried them that one time.
Okay,
that was it. I was one and done.
Yeah.
They're grasshoppers, by the way.
Oh, whatever. Same.
Toasted grasshoppers.
Both annoying.
They were good. A little spicy.
You had them too?
Yeah, they're good. Yainer Diaz leads off here, facing Kirby Yates. Second pitch of the at-bat, grounded to Marcus Semien, and that'll be 1 out. They weren't too bad. Hey, one of the fans on our Ask Baggy deal, look at Yates' numbers. He is not allowed to run as a Ranger coming over this year for the first time. A veteran in the bullpen was from Poncho. Wanted to know if you saw the eclipse. What'd you think?
No, I didn't see the eclipse.
You were out. You were doing something.
Yeah, I was taking my wife to the doctor.
Okay.
The doctor was, all the people in the place were watching it, and we were waiting.
So you went to the doctors, and everybody at the doctors went
well,
outside when you got there. So you didn't bother going outside.
I mean, it happens like every year and a half. It just happens.
No, it's every like 40 years.
No,
20.
it happens all the time. We just don't see it in the United States.
Oh, true.
Okay, well, it's not a phenomenon.
People were flocking into the Dallas metro area where we were staying.
They waited in traffic for about 5 hours.
That is also a true story.
For 4 minutes.
Lots of people from England flew in for this.
I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It doesn't move the needle for
Everybody
me,
in the doctor's office went outside. You guys stayed in the waiting room.
Yeah, it doesn't move the needle for me.
2-0 to count to John Sigel. Sorry, Pancho, but yeah, apparently.
So sorry, Pancho. Yeah, I did not see that.
Bruin won the
I saw it on TV.
What do you mean you saw it on TV?
Well, they showed it afterwards on TV.
Well, who cares about watching it on TV?
Well, who cares about watching it when it happened? I don't know. That's just me. Call me whatever.
Booge drew a picture of what it looked like for you. It's right here.
That's nice. That's great. That's perfect.
So that's what you missed.
And now everybody's got eye problems.
More visits to the doctor. It all comes full circle.
It does. They actually made money on this deal.
They were outside saying we're going to make some money watching the eclipse. John Singleton, 3-1 count. Singleton doubled his last time up.
I live a very boring life.
That one's upstairs. Ball.
See that? What would Blummer say right now?
Blummer?
What would he say right now when that just happened with the walk? Salvage.
Well, he doubled his last time.
That's a salvage. Doesn't matter.
Because you just doubled?
You doubled and then you walk, so you don't have to make an out.
Oh, I got you. You talk about that too.
Oh God, that's a salvage right there. You don't want to make an out in a 12-8 game, and you walk.
I just like that the fact that he's on base. Because you're down 4.
I understand.
You get a couple guys on now. All of a sudden, Altuve could bat with a base.
You get 600 at bats, and then I'll tell you what it feels like to get a walk when you're in a game like this.
How about Pena? He's got a chance for a 4-hit game here.
Oh, he can't wait to hit, but he still take a salvage.
3 for 4 night going. This one low. It's 1-1. Well, this is it probably for the Rangers in the bullpen.
Yeah, we've seen them all, I think, right?
Well, there's a couple guys available, but you've got to think that they're thinking Yates is going to get them.
But they've never seen Yates before, so now they get to see him, so see what he looks like out there. Unless they saw him in, San Francisco?
They saw him in Arlington in that first series, but not a lot. He pitched 1 inning.
San Diego, did he pitch?
Oh, he's been all over. Kirby?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's out of Kauai, the island of Kauai in Hawaii.
Wow.
Former surfer.
Good for him.
Yeah, but he's pitched for a number of teams. He's been injured for the latter part of his.
Here's the question.
Yeah.
The eclipse, does it affect the surf?
Oh, that's one for Kirby tomorrow.
No, he might be, but now he wouldn't be watching. He'd just be waiting for the wave to come by.
I've got to think it has very little impact.
Hey.
But it's because it goes by in 5 minutes.
We had some people talking about it was part of climate change. I'm like, what?
What changed for a few minutes? Tampa Bay Yankees.
Cold because there's no sun.
Exactly.
That's not right.
Tampa Bay Yankees, Angels, San Diego 4 seasons, Atlanta 2 seasons. Injury.
You stayed at the 4 seasons?
Nice. Kirby Yates. That's where he stays.
Perfect.
They just played
I love the 4 seasons.
There you go. So here it's 3-2, Baggy.
Okay, hey, so the more we keep talking, things are going to happen.
There's a chance.
There's a chance.
A chance.
There's always a chance. Watch this.
Down 4. Kirby got a big strikeout there for the second out of the inning. So Jeremy ends his night 3 for 5. More than likely ends his night 3 for 5. And that'll bring up Mauricio Dubon.
It really is important, though. This is a big leverage situation for Yates.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Jeremy's seen him, he has an idea of what it looks like. I don't know if he faced him when he was in Arlington or not, but it helps.
It definitely helps. Let's see who Yates faced that night. They played 4 games, so he pitched in the second game of that series, and he faced Pena, Myers, and Altuve. So
that's the second time he's
second time. He grounded out his first time to Pena. Dubon hasn't faced him. At least Astro and Ranger head-to-head. He might have faced him as a Giant. No, because he was in Atlanta at that point. I doubt he's faced him before. We can look that up. 1-1 the count to Mauricio. Astros still need a couple of runners more to get on before they bring the tying run to the plate. But thanks to everybody who participated in the Ask Baggy segment tonight. That was kind of impromptu. Hey, by the way, while you were in between innings, Joey Loperfido hit his 3rd home run of the night.
He's got 3 now.
Grand slam tonight.
Now that is way bigger than a salvage.
That's huge, yeah.
That's not a salvage.
Yeah,
that is a nice day.
He's feeling good about life.
3 bombs.
Dubon's never faced Yates, just for clarity reasons. Check that box off. That one's fouled out of play. Bottom of the order's done a nice job. You've got Pena with 3 hits. You've got Dubon with 2 hits. You got Jake Myers with 2 hits and a walk.
Yep. So we actually added to our runners in scoring position.
That's right.
Our on-base percentage.
Yeah. Batting average.
Batting average. I don't know about slugging. Oh yeah, we got 2 homers from Tuck and a couple doubles.
Love how Dubon battles.
Yeah,
he puts the ball in play somehow.
He's one of them hitters too. When you play defense, like you don't want to see up in big situations because you have no idea where he's going to hit the ball. Like some guys, you know where they're going to hit the ball, so you have an idea. You get it down the first base line or third base line. You have no idea.
That's good. It's a good hitter.
Yeah, that's a real good hitter. Try and be that when it's Albert Pujols, so you can hit it out every single way that way.
If Dubon gets on, we might find out about the status of who's available on the bench because Myers will probably hit, but then we'll see if somebody's on deck for Greg Kessinger because Alex Bregman was ill earlier today. Chaz McCormick's been dealing with a hamstring. Victor Caratini would be an option. Jose Abreu's on the bench. You've got 4 guys on the bench, but 2 of which might not be available. Will we find out? Dubon lost this in the right. We won't, because this one's caught, and that'll do it for the Astros in the 9th inning. A walk, 1 man left on base. The Rangers scored 6 runs in the 3rd inning, and that would be the difference tonight as they win it 12-8. Astros postgame show presented by Whataburger will feature Lauren Callender. She'll be joined by Brian Bogusevic and Mike Stanton, as they'll have all the highlights and analysis of this one, and Julia Morales will gather interviews after the game. All that coming up on the Astros postgame show presented by Whataburger right after this.